I think one of the funniest things about doing the actual Game of the Year show is that the only game that all three of us played, we did not put on the list. And that's Expedition 33. Clear Obscure that's the only game that all three of us played.
Didn't need it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
It's got its own accolades.
It's not hurting.
Yeah.
Game's not a 7 out of 10 is the thing.
We'll talk. Yeah, that's the problem. We'll talk about it. Welcome to Insert Credit Rest of the Year 2025. This is the episode where we talk about all the games that we played that didn't quite make the cut for one reason or another. In my case, usually because I didn't play through it all the way or other reasons. But yeah, I'm Brandon Sheffield, and this year I played 46 games. Not to completion, but enough to have something to say about them.
Is that 46 new 2025
games? 25.
Okay,
yeah. I played some other games too. Yeah.
I don't understand how you do that. I'm gonna go next. My name is Ash Parrish. I played slightly less than that many games. On top of the 5 that we did for our Game of the Year, I have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 games for my rest of, which I think is a pretty good encapsulation of the rest of the stuff that I did. So I did play 15 games this year. That's like a little bit more than a game a month. I think that's pretty good considering what my job was for most of 20 or all of 2025.
You probably got further in them than I did.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but some of them.
And we have a special guest. Esper Quinn is here.
Hello. So happy to be here. My name's Esper Quinn.
Yes.
I played 11 2025 games, not counting any that were on the list last episode, and not counting Demon School, which everybody should check out. That is technically on the list. It's number 16.
Yeah, I guess we already. Yeah, it's on there. So I guess what we'll do is maybe with the number that we have, because I have 27 left. There's a bunch I'm not going to talk about. Maybe Ash will do 1, I'll do 2. Esper will do 1, I'll do 2. And I think that'll sort us out.
Be fun.
That could be
close
good
enough.
Yeah, you go first, Ash.
All right, I'm going to go first. I'm going to start the top of my list. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I really like Musou games, all the Dynasty Warriors stuff. I believe Dynasty Warriors Origins also came out last year, which was a game I played, but I did not include it on the list because it was great. I enjoyed it. I wish I had multiplayer. I guess Age of Imprisonment kind of has multiplayer too. I have to look again because I wasn't able to play the multiplayer for that. But Age of Imprisonment is just a better version of Hyrule Warriors. Age of Imprisonment is what I think Tears of the Kingdom should have been, at least for Zelda's story. Of course, I love Musou for the action and like just beating the shit out of dudes with a bunch of different kinds of powers, which Hyrule Warriors delivers in spades very well. It's always done that. But the new thing that Nintendo has kind of done with these like age of these Hyrule Warrior games, at least the recent ones, is that they're playing with the narrative of the the Breath of the Wild. I want to call it the Botwa series. The Breath of the Wild. That's what I call it. Botwa. It's weird.
I heard what you heard, Esper. Botwussy. It was something else.
Gotta get all up in that Botwussy.
That's fun. They play with the narrative of that series a little bit. So with the first Hyrule Warriors, you know, they fuck with the time, which is really cool, but I don't think is canon. But at least with Age of Imprisonment, we get to see what Zelda was up to when she was fucking around with like the 2 hot elder Hylians that saw her vibe from across the bar. And I think that is such a clever way of getting another bite at that Zelda apple without taking, 7 years to develop another full whole ass game that you can deliver shortly in a different setting that still gives that same impact that I think that game did really well.
Nice.
Is Linkle in this one?
No, Linkle is not in this one. You get a lot of really interesting characters to play as. Like you can play as Sonia, and you can play as King Rauru, and you can play as like his sister Minoru, and you get all of like the warriors from Tears of the Kingdom that you see back in time. And I really like the way that they do that. Like you get to see more of Hyrule from like the non-hero perspective, because you're just playing random like castle guards eventually. Like these are just the people who live in this place. They're not the heroes. They're not the big people. And to see this story, or is to see Hyrule through their eyes, I think is a clever way of deepening the world that Nintendo has built.
I just put together right now that the Survivors genre is Muso without buttons or story.
Survivors.
Vampire Survivors.
Oh.
That whole
Yeah.
genre is just Muso without buttons and without story. You're taking on a bunch of dudes at once, and then you have some big ones that come in, and then you get your powers.
Sometimes there's story.
Sometimes there's story. It's true. But
I do
mean,
like the idea of it being a Muso with no buttons. That's fun. That's cool.
Okay, well, I may as well go to my Muso block. Sorry, not
you
my
have a Muso block?
No, I have a Survivors block, is what I meant to say. I played 3 Survivors for a bit. One of them was called Soulstone Survivors. I did not love the art on it. It has that kind of flat shaded look of PC games from 2005-ish, but it's you upgrade super fast, and there's a lot of upgrades and things that stack and modify each other, and each character has different skills, and it's really, if you like those, it's pretty good at doing that. It gives you the juice really quickly. I also played Let Them Come Onslaught, which is a funny name. It's a sci-fi one. But the upgrades, like, they're not as fun, and it's harder, and it just wasn't as enjoyable to me as Soulstone. Then lastly, I played Vital Shell, which is a low poly twin stick shooter / Survivors like.
I thought that was 2026. Was that 2025?
Oh shoot, was it? Let's look it up.
I'm not actually 100% sure. It might be 2025.
You might be right.
2026.
2026? All right. Well, then we'll just pretend.
Next year.
Well, no, we can do
That's
it
fine.
like
No,
with
yeah, go ahead and talk about it.
I'll talk about it.
like
No,
Grammy rules or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
No, it's well, so for some reason someone recommended this, and it's a fine one of these with decent music and a minimal look. You upgrade your weapons and then pay like devotion to gain permanent upgrades, and you have a consumable special, and you're actually pointing and shooting where you're supposed to be, and it's pretty cool. But in terms of the upgrade juice, it's very slow paced. It doesn't dole out the goods quickly enough for me, and so that's what I felt about that. I was planning on having that block be one game, so now my second game is going to be To a T. Did anyone play this?
I wanted to play
To
a T so bad, and I forgot that came out last year. Oh man,
everyone forgot that came out.
Yeah,
yeah. You know, he's moving back to Japan because of how much everyone forgot that came out. Anyway, it's the new Keita Takahashi game. It has a nice look. It has nice vibes. But everything takes so long, and it's so repetitive. It's like rinse your mouth out for 10 seconds, then spit stuff out for 10 seconds, then do that twice. The world is hard to navigate because you can't move the camera, which makes the map hard to read because sometimes you change direction and it's like, I have no idea where I am now because the camera just moved. I think they wanted to make it easier for young people, but it's the opposite because it's harder to navigate. Sometimes you have to like walk from off screen. There's just a lot of like little basic problems. I loved the vocal tracks are like fantastic. The vibes are really good. It shows a nice song every episode, but it's kind of awkwardly paced. Like it doesn't fade in. It's just like blam, suddenly the song is here. It's got a nice message, but I think the core issue with it is it's a story about someone who's stuck in a T-pose. And the challenges that they face, and people think that they're weird, but then they have special things that only they can do because they're different. And it's a great narrative, and it's about like accessibility and difference, except the game itself is not accessible at all. It requires a lot of buttons, it requires a lot of rotating things, and it just like, the theme does not fit the action. And it has a lot of heart and a cute narrative, but it's just not fun to interact with, which is a real shame. I played it. Yeah. I played about half of it. I got to where you can spin and fly around and stuff, and I just I was making myself play it toward the end, and I feel bad because I wanted it to be cool.
If this was a successful game, like this sounds, the way that you talk about it sounds very much like a 7 out of 10 game, which is a very insert credit game. But I also wonder, it's not perfect, obviously, but is it successful? Does it do?
I don't think it is. Because
probably not by any metric. There's probably cool stuff in it, but I don't think
there's
any
cool
part
stuff
of
in
it
it. But it does. I think the fact that there's that disconnect between narrative and interaction, where like it's about accessibility, but it's not accessible. I think that inherently makes it not successful. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't get there, and it's made me sad. It just made me sad that it didn't get there. Too bad. That's it for me. It's Esper time.
There's a lot of games this year that were very sort of like personal, semi-autobiographical narrative games. There was Despelote and Perfect Tides and stuff. So it's a little disappointing to hear that one wasn't great.
Yeah.
I am going to go back to our Muso direction and Survivors genre direction. The last game that I played, I downloaded this last night because I wanted more games to put on this list.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, I think I'll just play this for an hour and then turn in. And then it was like 5 a.m. when I stopped playing. That game's called Ball X Pit.
Hell yeah!
And I knew it was going to eat me alive. I think there's a lot of really interesting game design stuff happening here, actually. Because with the Survivors, Vampire Survivors specifically is the one that I have an amount of experience with. And Ball X Pit is kind of interesting because there's a lot of risk reward in you don't want to get too close because you're much more likely to get hit by the enemy, but getting closer deals a lot more damage because the ball will bounce back and forth between you and the target a lot more. And the most fun thing you can do in a breakout style game where you're bouncing a ball around is get the ball behind the enemy lines and bounce it back and forth, up and down a whole bunch. And they recognize that. And that is also kind of like a high risk, high reward strategy because you are really more concerned about this tower defense style line pushing toward you. So the stuff closer is more dangerous and more concerning, but it's cooler and a little bit more powerful to like clear out the back lines and stuff. So there's a lot going on there that's interesting. I thought the base building, it was cool how that's also a sort of breakout arachnoid clone. You lay down little spots to harvest and then you send a guy to bounce through them and collect the harvest. That was neat.
Mm-hmm. Arachnoid.
Yeah. Arachnoid. Is that what I said?
You said arachnoid and I was like, that's like a spider robot or a spider alien. It made so much sense to me that it took me a while to unwind. I was like, how have I never put together that that's a spider? And it's like, because it's Arachnoid. But
it's been arachnoid for me since I was like 5 or 6. It's actually been breakout for me, but
that's great that it's Arachnoid. I love it.
Yeah. Game rules, vibes are cool, and I've barely scratched the surface of it. If you follow me on Steam, you will see me playing it a lot, I am sure.
How many of the characters have you unlocked so far?
Just 2. The first guy, and I've unlocked 2 more, but I've only played as the first guy you unlock.
Okay.
Just Etchy Trigger or whatever.
You played it too, right, Ash? You played it quite a bit?
Oh, yeah. I played a lot of it.
Yeah, I'm into it. I am going to probably go all the way through this game. It's got all the Survivor stuff. You combine your weapons and upgrade them and all this stuff. That feels perfectly fine. I'm not an expert on that. The stuff that's there I thought was really interesting.
I've heard they were very successful with that particular part. So,
that was an excellent job. Like the thing that I enjoy the most now, in addition to like watching, number go up and a bunch of balls fly all over the screen, is like figuring out what the next combination that I don't have is.
Sure.
And that's a blast. And I discovered that you can actually combine your accessories too. Like that is a thing that you can.
Oh yeah, your passive buffs.
Yeah, that you can mesh together, and it just opened up like a whole new like world. Like, oh, what am I? Because I have a tendency to pick like the same accessories because I have like a particular playstyle that I like to go for versus other things. And one thing that's really fun is being there's one guy who makes the choices for you. And while I don't like him, he's fun to play because it opens up the possibility for me to like try new accessories that I wouldn't try myself.
It forces you to try things.
And see what the risk reward of that is, because like, oh, this just seems like a net negative. Like when this happens to me when I play Magic a lot, especially when I'm looking at blue cards, Esper, where it seems like this seems like bullshit. Like, why would I take this? This doesn't seem like it helps me. And then,
this
I get
me think about my deck. Screw this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then, I've, play a blue player and get fucking destroyed because I didn't understand the implications of what, this particular bad sounding thing means. So I really like that they've done that in this game. So.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. I will say it is hard to tell what are your projectiles and enemy projectiles. I never got that sense of like, I am a god blasting destruction in all directions because like you still have to play Arachnoid or Arkanoid.
When you get, there will be a point where you have leveled up your characters. Yeah, and you have like a god like assembly of like things where it's just you point your ball at it and fucking dies, and it's a phenomenal feeling. Like it's however those I never thought of it like as a Vampire Survivor like, but when you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yep, that makes sense because it hits that part of my brain where I'm like, this is fucking awesome, and I'm gonna do this for 7 hours.
That it has that, it has breakout, it has tower defense stuff, and that's all just in the main gameplay component, not counting the base building and everything. Which
it's a very deep game.
There's a lot going on there that I was impressed by. I thought it would just be Survivors.
I'm gonna play it. I didn't get to it.
There's a lot of games last year. That's what I realized.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do 2 now. One will be relatively quick. It's Shinobi, the new Shinobi game.
Oh, yeah.
Which I forget what the subtitle is.
The people who did Blasphemous did, right? That's Ninja Gaiden?
That's Ninja Gaiden, which I'm going to talk about immediately next.
Okay.
This is the Ninja Block.
This is the Ninja Block. This is the one by Lizard Cube.
We did a Gaiden with.
We did a Gaiden with them, which is why I'll keep it brief. But it was, so you can listen to that if you want to hear more. But it's got good movement, good action, feels nice to play. The Metroidvania-ness of it kind of, I feel like it didn't need to be there. And some of the backtracking people didn't like. But, I don't have that much to say because it's nice. It's just sort of what a video game should be like, in my opinion. It's just like it's like a video game you can play. It maybe has too many gauges, but it looks nice, it sounds nice, it plays nice, it's real smooth. I like the emphasis on combos. I just think it's neat. As for why it didn't make my top, it's just because it, for whatever reason, it didn't get its teeth in me, as well as being very nice, but it is very nice, and people should play it if they have.
Punishing in some spots. It seemed. I watched the long play, and it seemed like there were indeed a lot of spike traps.
Yeah, but that's all of those things are in an optional zone.
Okay.
So generally, it's like if you want to go over here and get some special technique, then here's the spike trap, special perfect jumping around area. But I was fine with those because even though I don't love that sort of platforming, you know what you're getting into with that. It's like, here's a challenge area. And so that felt all right to me.
Right on.
But then there's Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is by the Blasphemous people. I did not like it. I'm sorry to them. I did not like it. I found it hard to see what's going on. Both enemies appearing and telegraphing their attacks. The distance of my sword swipe, I never got it. I never got it perfect. Like I never intuited it. It's a very skill-based platformer, and I'm not good at those, which is part of the problem. But the stuff that, like the hitbox felt weird. I keep thinking I'm not going to get hit, especially by touching enemies, but I do. It hits me, but it doesn't hurt them. There are whole sequences designed to knock you into pits, and it likes to hide projectiles behind enemies as they're overlapping, so you can't see one or the other. And so you start off playing as like a junior Hayabusa, and I was really not feeling that. But then they switch you over to this kunai wielding character from called Kumori from like the Spider Clan, and she's much more fun to play with because she like shoots projectiles. My hitbox problem was not happening anymore. She was easier to maneuver. And then they immediately kill her off and make her merge with the main character, so that now all the cool stuff that I got to do is now special powers on a gauge. And it just made me so mad. It made me mad, and I didn't enjoy myself. The end.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's what happened. Okay, Ash.
I don't know where the insert credit team falls on remakes, including it in your lists.
A lot of discussion on that.
I mean, we did do.
We did do Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid Delta. So let's slide it in there.
Bring it in.
So it's going to be Final Fantasy Tactics.
Sure.
I did not play this game when it first came out. I didn't have a PSP.
They did stuff to this as well, so I'd say it counts regardless.
As far as I don't
it's got
know,
updates.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you what the difference is.
They did the entire graphics basically.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. But yeah, I missed this game when it first came out. I'm a big Final Fantasy person, as you guys should well know. And, the thing that among Final Fantasy people that they say, at least people who know Ball or people who I respect, who I think know Ball, say that Final Fantasy Tactics is the be all end all. So I'm like, okay, I finally get a chance to experience this. And they were right. Wow. It's weird when that happens. Yeah, this is like the platonic ideal of a tactics, like strategy RPG. Like, I've played Fire Emblems, I've played Advance Wars, I've played Triangle Strategy, like I've played tactical games. And this is like, of course it is, because it's like the granddaddy, right? Or at least I assume it is because of the prominence it takes in like the video game, especially the Final Fantasy community.
I guess
like,
in terms of popularity, it would be. It's not like the actual progenitor, but it is.
It didn't invent very much, but
no, but it like crystallized it. Like when we think about tactical games, I feel like Final Fantasy Tactics is the thing that we look to when we compare other games to it. And I completely get why this is like the Rosetta Stone of tactical games. It's just phenomenal in every way. It is so fun. It is so crunchy. It is so appealing to the part of my brain that's like, I'm going to fiddle with some shit that doesn't make sense and just like completely build my team piece by piece by piece from scratch. And on top of that, you've got this blistering ass rip straight from the headlines relevant to today's storyline. Oh, we were cooking with gas, like just straight gas. This shit is awesome. And I wish that Square did this more. Like, I'm really glad that you can get people like Cloud in the game and all that kind of stuff. I feel like if Square really wanted to like do something different, but that was also, I don't know, can appeal to like this base of fans that they have accumulated over the last 30 years, especially with the Final Fantasy franchise, do that shit again and put all of our boys in them. Put all of them fucking in there. Make this fucking Dissidia with tactics.
Dissidia Tactics, yeah.
Hell, oh my God, can you imagine? I would be there.
I think the problem is they don't have Matsuno anymore. And
I didn't know that there was like a guy that was known for that.
Yeah. So Matsuno is, if you're not familiar with him, I think you would be interested to learn more about him. He is Ogre Battle, Tactics Ogre to Final Fantasy Tactics, Vagrant Story, Final Fantasy 12.
Makes perfect fucking sense to me because Final Fantasy 12 is my favorite of the series. Like,
well, and it's Ivalice. Yeah. It's the same setting.
Yeah. It's Ivalice, by the way. I just need everybody to know that.
You're right.
Yeah, and he worked on those scenarios for 14, Ivalice and the Save the Queen, Gunhilder, etc. So yeah, him not being there, I think is why. Because I think if they just made another Final Fantasy Tactics, it wouldn't quite work. They'd have to do some things.
I mean, they tried, right? They tried with Triangle Strategy. Right?
Well, and they did Tactics Advance. I liked those a little bit more than Final Fantasy Tactics.
Me too,
that's
actually.
Just because I have a weird GBA kind of aficionado.
I don't have any attachment to that. So maybe that's why I don't have it. But Triangle Strategy kind of
Advance.
I will, but Triangle Strategy left me kind of cold. Like it didn't do I was big, like this came around the time when it was like a bunch of Fire Emblems came out in like subsequent years, and then Triangle Strategy, and then Advance Wars. And there was just this block of time where all these strategy games came out, and I was like, yes, this is what I want. And they were all fucking terrible. Like not terrible, but Fire Emblem Engage was terrible. Triangle Strategy was okay, but got boring. Advance Wars was just a fucking non-starter. And Tactics has been the first tactical game that I'm like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. But it is something that has been around for a very long time. So hopefully I'll get more of these kinds of games. And I do want to play like Tactics Ogre. My husband played that game. He liked it a lot. It sounds like it would be something for me.
You could try Jeanne d'Arc, which is my favorite in this vein. Joan of Arc.
That sounds
Sentai
like
Warriors
some crunchy
game.
ass, like JRPG, but playing with medieval history kind of deal that I would enjoy.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So maybe I'll give it a chance. But yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics.
You'll fall down a Disgaea hole.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not a disc. I've seen Disgaea played. It's not for me. It's not for me.
Just can't handle the character designs.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Too many sexy 500-year-old 12-year-olds.
Childs? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, sorry. But yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics is a fucking amazing game.
Okay, it's me. Back to me. Let's talk about Terminator 2D.
Oh, did you like? Well, I guess you're getting ready to tell us.
I did like it. The first word I wrote down was fun. It's fun. My only complaint about the feel of it is that it commits that classic sin of waiting for the animation for the jump to start before you actually jump, so that you press a button and then there's a little delay before you jump, which is not something that anyone should do. But the futuristic weapons look good and feel good. You get to fight as naked Arnold in a biker bar.
Sold.
Yeah, the thing with it is almost every new level has kind of a design thing that you have to learn that isn't obvious, and you'll probably burn continues learning it. So it's old school in that way that I think could be frustrating for some. But once you understand what you're supposed to do, it's very arcadey and feels very good to play. I like the Bitmap Bureau. Obviously, I've liked a lot of their games, especially Xenocrisis. I was gonna say I think they did a great job. It manages to do the nostalgia thing, but also the arcade thing without. It doesn't feel cynical to me. The way in which it was done, it feels like it was done with a lot of love and like this. And it was done by a UK team, and so in a way it has that like Ocean Software Amiga licensed game feeling, except like elevated 10 times higher because it's actually really good.
Did you
I
play
almost
the
put it
Phantom?
on my top list. The Phantom?
Yeah.
No.
Which is the same genre, I believe, as the Terminator, where it's like this licensed thing, beat 'em up kind of deal.
You're talking about, is it an old one or a new one?
Relatively new. Like, do you remember the Billy Zane movie, The Phantom?
Mm-hmm.
It's that. It's a game like, it's that. I think it came out either last year or 2024.
It came out in 2025.
Oh, okay, yeah. We watch a streamer,
Look at that.
Macaw45, who plays these beat 'em up games. This was one of the games that he has been like fiending for, and so we finally watched him play it. I'm like, and I watched him, and I'm like, this is actually really cool because he has a lot of opinions about beat 'em ups. He played the Phantom, and it was one of those like licensed beat 'em ups where it didn't really work out properly. Yeah. And it feels like the Terminator game is just slightly better, slightly more polished than like Rita's Revenge or Turtles in Time.
It's also not a beat 'em up. This is a run and gun. So it's also not going for the same. It's not going for the same play as the others. This is more like Judge Dredd on the Sega Genesis or Metal Slug for an easier analog.
Okay.
But
Thank you. Like, wait a minute, no.
It's very much like walk and shoot things. But there's a sequence where you got to hide from the T-1000 and escape through from the prison. You got a sequence where you're on a bike and you're like shooting obstacles in front of you and shooting a truck behind you. There's they made it feel very arcadey and bombastic, and I really liked it. I did almost put it in my top, but then I didn't. But it's good. I recommend. My second one, and that Phantom game, it's wild that came out in 2025. It has 30 reviews on Steam. That's just nuts. Like
we're insert credit. Get in there.
Yeah.
Get this game out in the world.
I gotta find out if that game is good. Okay, my second one is Blade Chimera. This is one that if Frank were here, I would recommend to him. It is a Metroid from Team Ladybug, who did the Record of Lodoss War one that I talked about 2 years ago or something. It has a fantastic running animation. I love when some sort of Avania has a really good running animation, and it's got a really good one. Such a good running animation that I thought it was a lady. I thought my main character was a lady, but it's actually a dude. One thing that's weird is your gun fires when you release the button, which is strange. But there's a reason for it.
I don't like that.
I don't love when they do that. Aiming is a little fiddly on the controller. It's definitely meant for like mouse play, but the whole thing has this kind of modern retro future Japan vibe, which is really cool. It's a Japanese developer that made it. Another quibble, I can't tell where the end of a platform is when I can jump. You're supposed to, in my mind, if I can see my character having any pixels on the platform, I can still jump. That is not true of this. But your gun kind of auto aims, which is interesting. And you have a spectral blade that you can use as a platform. You can also warp to any tile you've been to before, which is pretty cool. That's convenient. So you like the backtracking is kind of erased. Like you backtrack, but it's not a problem because it's just like go here.
I was going to say, like, I had that reaction because I looked at the trailer and it got to the part with the big tiger and I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool.
It's really nice looking.
It is really cool looking.
But it's one of those ones with a story where there's demons and there's a church. Can you guess which one of them is going to be evil? the head priest is called Lord Baal. Baal.
Lord Malfeasance.
Yeah, exactly. Meet my friendly doctor, Mephistopheles. Anyway, it's pretty good. I'm gonna play through it. The main reason I didn't put it on the list is because of those minor quibbles, and because I only got like 3 hours in, and it felt like I wanted to get more before I really talked about it. But I like it, and I think that it's also like a 10-hour game. It's not very long. So I think anybody who likes that sort of thing, you should probably just go ahead and get it. Pretty good.
Right on.
Esper's turn.
I played a game that I enjoyed with my partner. My partner played most of it. I watched quite a bit, but I did get to play a little called Squeakross, Home Squeak Home.
Oh.
Yes. I know about this. It's a Picross game where you're a mouse.
Or Squycross, whatever.
Right.
It could be Squycross.
Oh wait, it's a Picross?
It's a Picross, and you're a mouse.
You get to design your own little mouse, and here's the best part: it's Picross plus Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer.
Right.
So you're doing Picross puzzles, and the Picross puzzle will be like a chair or a bed or a fridge or whatever, and that unlocks furniture that you design a little house for your mouse. I'm going to leave Ash's face on screen in the YouTube video because I'm just seeing unadulterated joy right now.
Because I just pulled it up and oh my God.
Ash's voice is peaked so much that I don't think the mic picked it up.
The mic got rid of it.
I'm glad you're having this moment. It's really, really cute. Jerma did a very funny stream with it if you want to go watch someone play it instead of doing Picross puzzles, because I don't usually do Picross puzzles. That's my partner Ripley's thing. Hi, Ripley. I love you. Game's just fun. It's a little janky.
To tell you about this game, Ash, and I forgot to.
Wow, okay. Yeah,
Ash is currently wiping tears out of her eyes.
I get emotional about very cute things. Sorry.
This one's very cute.
Fucking awesome.
And the little mouse / rat designer is actually pretty in depth. And there's photos of all the team's mice and everything. It's the ultimate cozy game. It's just a fun, like, if you can imagine this game, you probably already know whether or not you want to play it. So I don't think we need to get too deep into it. But yeah, Squeakross, it's on Steam. It's cheap.
Cool.
Ash needs to leave right now.
And go get Squeakross.
Like one of the things that's, I guess, great or good about being laid off is that I can play video games that I want to now. Yeah, I can just do whatever, and I can just play what I want to play. And I've been having a hard time finding what I want to play. And so, like, stuff like this is great because I'm like, yeah, like I can play video games like a normal person again. And I need to get back to that. And this is like, I love this kinds of stuff because I want to see what's out there instead of what I have to see because it's my job, right? Because there's so many games out in Steam. I was talking on the other podcast to Brandon, like, where do you find this shit? Like, how do you dig through the thousands of games that are released on Steam in a year to find something truly special?
I knew I was going to be short on games. I almost just went to itch.io and I was like, what were the last 10 games released in 2025?
Nice.
And just spend $1 on each of them.
I want to know more about the games that I would not come across in my regular profession. And this is great. So
you're in the right place. This is a good episode for that, no less.
I guess. Oh, no, you have to go.
It's me.
I forget. Every time we go, you go.
Every time you go, I go. I go and I do too. Okay. I played Unbeatable for a little while. It is very interesting. It's not what I expected. I was expecting a rhythm action game primarily, because it's the tagline is where music is illegal and you do crimes, which is a great tagline, by the way.
Yeah, good line.
And it's a story set in a world where music is illegal. You're a musician. You meet other musicians in jail, and form a band and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And then you theoretically escape, but I didn't get that far because I played it for about 70 minutes and I did maybe 3 rhythm game sequences in that time. And so it's actually, I think it changes later. This is why I didn't want to talk about it more, because I don't really, I think there's a lot more later of doing the rhythm game stuff, and I just don't know because I didn't get that far. But I did go through it pretty fast, and I was 70 minutes. But you're like your 2D characters running around in 3D backgrounds, which is neat and weird. The story kind of jumps around a little bit. There's not a lot of narrative transitions between scenes, but I found myself compelled by the characters and the world, and so I want to get more into it and see what's going on there. But in the time that I played it, I didn't get like a full sense of what it was going to be. So I have to play more and find out.
I'll say that
great.
It does look great. I've spoken to those developers. They're really rad. You should play the game because the developers are rad. On the strength of my conversation with the developers alone, I like this game. Yeah.
And one of the I think she's a contractor, but one of them did a animation of Faye in the style of Unbeatable, punching and kicking, which was really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Are you going to sue them for using 2D characters in 3D backgrounds, which you invented?
That's right. I was actually like, hey, since you have done this, do you want to put it in Unbeatable as an extra thing? No, I was like, put it in your game. Just put her in there.
Yeah, hey.
But I don't know if that's going to happen. The next one is Ambrosia Sky. So I feel really bad about this one because it's a great idea to me. It's Power Wash Simulator in space with a story. Sci-fi Power Wash sim, where you're like getting rid of fungus with this fungicide thing. Fungus is taking over all these space zones, and I could have done a space block. Oh well, too bad. And it's a cool idea, and the story is like heartfelt, but like it needed like 8 more months. Like the UI sometimes like resizes itself when you change to different options. Doors say open as their interact message, even if they're already open. There's just like a lot. Context dialogue will overwrite itself, and text is sometimes off screen. It's just like a lot of little things where it feels. So this game it feels very much like they broke it up because they released it as the first of a trilogy now, and it's short. So it really feels like they had a full game they wanted to make, and they ran out of money. And feeling that while I was playing it, I just felt really bad for them.
Sure.
There's a lot of waiting for your stuff to recharge. Death can be pretty abrupt. I feel like another 6 months, if only they had the time, it really would have been there. I could feel that they didn't want to make it in 3 acts. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's got like a grappling hook, and you can like zip around, and that's pretty cool. The whole idea is really good. It just like someone needed to give them another couple $100,000 or something like that, so that they could get it totally done.
God darn video games.
That's video games for you. Okay, Ash time.
So my next game is Spirit Swap. Lo-fi beats to match 3 2? I think is the subtitle.
Right.
Yes.
This was a game made by Soft Not Weak.
Those people are also very nice.
They are. I came to this game on the strength of the name alone. Like, I feel like I found out about this game like right around the time when Lo-Fi Girl became like something I was aware of in my memory. And it just came out like last year. Like, I have been following the development of this game for a very long time. And it just came out last year, and I played it, and it was great. It's just like this really cool, really chill match 3 game that doesn't like have a lot to it, like gameplay wise. But it's like a really short game that has a lot of fun art and a lot of fun characters. Like there's a narrative to it where you can, go through the world and talk to these like queer black and brown witch people. Like this person is a witch, and I think they like monitor like this bubble of magic around this city, and like bad magic is getting into the city and you have to like get it out. But there's also like a lot of really cool, like, younger 20-year-old, 20-something millennial relationship stuff and whatever, like visual novel stuff. It's like a match 3 game on top of visual novel stuff with great art, great music, simple match 3 stuff. There's an endless mode. It's a lot of fun. Like it's just a really great time to spend, maybe 20 minutes a day. It's super short. And I think that's my big ding about it, like that it is so short, because I think this is one of the first times where I played a game and I finished it and I just like had this big like, that's it? Like, no, there should be more to this. Like, where's more of this? I want more of this. Give me more. And it's not like I said, it's not super in depth. It's a match 3 game, but I just really enjoyed the art. I enjoyed the different things that they're doing with it. I enjoyed this little tiny bite of a game.
It's a hangout game.
Yeah, it's a hangout game. It's like a real chill game. I just, one of those little things that you find like, that's nice. There's not a lot to say about it, but it's just cool. It's really chill. I think we should talk more about those kinds of, there isn't much to this. It's just a vibe. You should play it kind of games.
I really like the art in it, and
I love the art.
Fully intended to purchase and play this, and then something happened. I don't know what happened. I didn't do it. I better do it now. Spirit Swap.
Demon School happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Demon School.
I was busy doing stuff.
Good music, by the way.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
I should hope so.
Okay. Skin Deep. I finally played Skin Deep. Skin Deep is an immersive sim, where you are going around various space stations that have been taken over by pirates whose heads pop off, and you're saving the crew who are all cats. And that sounds like it could be too over the top in terms of like try-hardishness for funny, but it absolutely the tone is perfect. Like I went in slightly skeptical, even though an associate of mine, Laura Miche, wrote the story. I was like, I don't know, and then they got me like within 5 seconds. Like the main character's name is Nina Pasadena, and it was just like, I was like, okay, I understand the direction we're going. The writing is very funny. The dialogue is very good. And the ship crew being cats, they're like, please save my engineer, Jingle. They got like deep voices, and there's like a goth cat. It's
all right, I'm in.
So you do little runs of rescuing cats from pirates. You gain money, which advances the story. You use all kinds of objects and traps and whatnot to trap the pirates. Then their heads pop off, and then you flush them down the toilet or put them out the airlock or whatever. Everything is very well labeled. Like the tutorial is gradual to lead you in, and everything is super well considered. So you are very likely to, even as a person who doesn't play ImSims, which is why it wasn't on my best of list, you will start to intuit how to use the objects and how to interact with the world because of how well labeled everything is and how clear the basics are, so that you can build upon that to make complex Rube Goldberg weird scenarios occur to murder pirates and get their heads flushed. It is not the kind of game that I am able to stick with. It's just not my space at all. However, if it were even slightly, this probably would have been one of my games of 2025 because it's funny, because the vibes are good. You're playing as an insurance adjuster who gets cryo frozen whenever she's not on a job. There's so much
the Winter
just like
Soldier of insurance.
Yeah, there's so much like little toothiness to everything that's in there, and I really respect it. And so congrats to them. If that's at all intriguing to you, I recommend that you buy it.
I feel like I do remember this game because I remember all the Annapurna Interactive showcases, and this was in them. And I do remember when it came out that everybody fucking loved this game. Like,
yeah.
The Verge wrote, I didn't write about it, but The Verge wrote about it, and they fucking loved this game. Like, for a brief moment when this game came out, it was all everybody talked about it, but that was a very brief moment.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't get enough time in the sun, and it it deserved it because it's real good. But I think it did well enough. I think it did well enough is my understanding. But people should buy it. My next one is Angeline Era, which is a bump slash game. Bump
what
combat,
does that mean?
Bump combat,
just like
in
Ys.
So it's like when you.
What does that mean?
I think we actually described it in another podcast.
We sure
recently,
did. Yeah, I remember us explaining.
It's
this.
just when you as a character you bonk into an enemy and your stats determine what happens, or if you hit them on the side, then you kill them.
You don't go into an RPG random battle. You just bonk and that's it.
They're there, and you collide with them physically. It's a style of action RPG where you're not hitting the button essentially. It's Ash is making a face.
They did it in Earthbound, Ash. It's a valid game design.
It's true. It's a real thing.
I don't play Earthbound, so.
It's very 3DO looking in an intentional way, which I think is cool. It feels like they had a good time making it, or at least wanted us to have a good time. I liked the 3D things you attack with your sword have physics, which is cool. So you can bonk it. Like if you want to open a door, you bonk into it, and then the door just flies off. It's got nice music. It is kind of difficult. Like you can sort of go wherever you want from the start, and you can go somewhere tough at first accidentally. Sometimes it's a little unclear what you can and can't jump on for me. So you level up in like a dream space world, which is interesting. But unfortunately, what stopped me, I think, basically, if you are cool with / interested in a story about someone going through their Christian faith and figuring out what that's about, then you should definitely play this game. If you are not interested in that, like myself, then that was kind of a stopping block. I did actually talk to the creator about it a little bit because some other people complained about that aspect, and it's sort of like spoilery to talk too much about what happens, I guess. I think the issue for me was that the main character, them being Christian, is kind of the only thing you know about them. They're not like Christian and weird or Christian and flirty or something else. They're like Christian and they want to know what God's plan is for them, and they're interested in angels, and like that's as far as you get in the first couple hours. But it goes places apparently. And if the rest of that appeals to you, you should check it out because I do think it's a very neat game design-wise. So
I didn't play that, but it looks great. It's one of the few games where someone says, this looks like a PS1 game. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of does look like a PS1 game.
Yeah.
It's got little chunky polygon dudes with no textures on the polygons, which I think is really neat. I'm very excited about the bump combat. I'll check that out for sure. Yeah. Did not play it, though.
Check it out.
My next game, I'm going to guess this game came out 2014. Virtua Fighter 5 R.E.V.O. World Stage.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I played a little bit of this. The nice things that this added is a single player mode, which is where I spend most of my time in fighting games because
Me too.
I'm a little coward baby and I'm not as good at these games as other people are, and I don't want to get beat up. I love Virtua Fighter. Virtua Fighter was before I play a lot of Tekken, but before I was playing Tekken, I had a Saturn and I had a demo disc copy of Virtua Fighter 2, and I was Wolf. I was swinging dudes around by their legs and getting ringouts.
Nice.
Series is still good. The Yakuza team is in charge of it now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next one's supposed to be real good. This one has Dural. Dural always looks really cool.
Yep. Shiny.
If you've never played Virtua Fighter, go play it, see what you think. And if you have, you already know what this one is like. I think it was like free on PlayStation or something. It's like a PlayStation Plus thing for a while.
Oh, right.
But it's on Steam now. So
it's fun. I'm through this episode, I'm learning what you called things when you were a child and how they have stayed through because it's Virtua Fighter. And
what did I say? Virtual,
yeah. And it's great because I'm feeling Child Esper coming through.
Yeah. Well, the next one's Hades 2 from me, so I won't be talking about that. But
Virtua Fighter is too has always been like too smart for me.
It's very fiddly. It's not as arcadey as a lot of the 3D fighters out there.
And I'm too much of a dum-dum for Virtua Fighter. But I've always had like this respect for it
Yeah, that's honestly kind of where I'm at too. Tekken is a lot more just like, oh, if I hit the buttons, I can hit the guy.
Yeah.
Whereas Virtua Fighter is a lot more like, okay, these are your combo strings. You need to memorize this list. And there are characters that aren't quite like that. I play El Fuego a lot, who's just kind of like jumping around and bouncing on dudes.
There's controversy about that guy because he was too much jumping around and bouncing on dudes.
I also play a lot of Sarah, and she's good at kicking high, so
that's the good stuff.
I was gonna say I don't have any real thoughts about Virtua Fighter.
Get in there; it's a fun game, man. The characters are just good characters.
I'm just watching the trailer, and I'm like, this just looks like spicy Tekken to me.
Tekken is spicy Virtual Fighter.
Exactly.
Let's get that straight
now.
Okay, sorry.
Virtua Fighter is number one when it comes to 3D fighting games. Everyone who made a 3D fighting game for the next 2 years after that was copying Virtua Fighter.
Absolutely.
Even in the first, bringing it back to what you were talking about earlier, the first Dynasty Warriors, I was talking to somebody who worked on it when I was at a dinner in Japan, and she was like, we were taking video of Virtua Fighter and like hand copying the animations that they were doing. Like that's
incredible.
That's what we were doing, because Virtua Fighter blew everyone's minds because it was like actual human motion for the first time, and everyone was just like, psh. It's
a classic Sega story because Namco came in and ate their lunch, but you know.
The whole dang thing.
The next one looks really great. The Yakuza team is working on, I believe, 7. Is that the one? Is it 6?
I think it's 6. I'm not sure. Okay, my next 2 are also not paired very well. I played Doom: The Dark Ages for a while. Anybody else play that?
Don't take that one from me.
Oh. Okay, let's pretend I didn't do that, and I'm not going to take it from you. Yep.
Spirit swapping.
Yeah, we're going to spirit swap. I'm going to do
I did not expect you to play that game. I was like, oh, that's a safe choice.
Okay, I'm going to do a tiny little weirdos block. That's what I'm going to do right now.
Perfect.
So, first, Birdcage. Birdcage is a very Sega Saturn coded shooting game. Visually and sonically, it's like the middle point between Radiant Silvergun and Sokyu Gurentai, which will mean something to some people. But it has the character design of that Ikaruga fella, whose name I've forgotten.
Ikaruga, right?
Well, it isn't really. It's much more Radiant Silvergun because you have a sword. You have a sword that you can flop around, and you use the sword a lot, and then you can shoot the sword out. It really feels like a lost Saturn game. It definitely came from one person's perspective. It has good difficulty settings. It's got like a little weird story to it about various. You're just called Pilot, and you're fighting against these sisters, but maybe you were one of them, and something. It really rubbed me wrong that on the Xbox controller, B was confirm and A was cancel. That drove me nuts. But you can remap it. Okay. So I remapped it immediately, but I was like, why did you, what's wrong with you? what planet are you from? Nintendo planet? That place isn't real. But it's really nice. It's a small shooter. It's got great music. If you like the Saturn, check it out.
And if you're listening to this, I know you do.
I know you do. Get that Birdcage. Okay, my next game, I think this has like 5 reviews. It's called Jail Dice.
I like it.
It's a Korean game. You are a pilot in charge of the Dice Rover. You're the hero of humanity. But unfortunately, after succeeding at saving humanity, the powers that be sent you to jail.
Wouldn't you know it?
In your die, and there's a lot of long repetitive tutorial videos. But if you get through those, you will play a game where you flip one side at a time in your die, and you can shoot with the 1 dot face, and you can eventually get a shield on the 6 face. And whatever face is up when you complete a certain action, like killing an enemy or something, that's how many more rolls, like times you can roll, and then you'll get a power up thing where you can smash objects that appear with your body. it was kind of hard for me to visualize what was happening at first, but eventually
Once
I got there.
Once you look at it, it makes a lot of sense. Like this is one of those games that you can't describe with words. You have to be looking at.
Yeah. It's kind of like Devil Dice, but with more aiming. And it has a permadeath system where you lose all your modules, which, I didn't
Is it a
really feel like.
or?
It's a little roguelike-y, and I didn't feel like that was necessary. Difficulty can get a little uneven, but it's also repetitive because the at least as far I played for like an hour, and the arenas never significantly changed, and the enemies didn't significantly change, and I don't really know what the end game or even the general progression is. However, it was kind of interesting, and it was fun to play something that like nobody was playing, and it's a neat idea. I thought it was a cool idea, and so if you I wouldn't not recommend it. I think it's at the very least capital I interesting. So jail dice, jail dice is the game.
What does jailizing mean? Like
jail dice. Oh, jailize?
Yeah, jailizing. At the top, there's like a percentage that says, and then under it says jailizing. What does that mean?
That's that's essentially a timer that's counting down to your ultimate destruction, and so you have to keep managing things in your arena, and there's an objective. You have to complete the objective before the jailization is over and leave the arena by then, or else you die. So it's just like an additional time pressure. But yeah, it's funny they have some little in-world things, terms and stuff. And of course, you're playing as like an anime booby lady inside of that die.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, and I hope she's not made with AI. They didn't have an AI disclosure. It was kind of on the edge for me visually, but since nobody's played it, they didn't have to disclose anything.
Disclose to who?
Yeah, indeed. Okay, those are my two. Let's take a little break. Anybody need water and stuff? Take a little break. I need water.
I can take a short break. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Moments. I could see my little dog's paws swirling around in my doorway because they heard me get up and they're like, "Oh, he's done,
finally!"
But I was not done. I still see them.
Sorry, guys.
Tip tapping.
Special
over there.
Friday episode.
Yeah, but now they've given up. Welcome back. It is now Ash's turn.
I'm of several minds about what to pick next because I do want to be mean and steal something from Esper. But I
no,
that's okay.
I'm so delightful though.
We're getting toward the end here because I only have 10 left as well. Esper has 8. You have how many left, Ash?
I have 7. So I'm gonna steal. I'm gonna steal from Esper, and I'm gonna put Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering on this list. Yeah. What one hell of a set, man! Like that was of all the Magic the Gathering sets that. Wow, that was a fucking set, man. I really loved that set, but I really hate the message that Wizards is taking from this set, and that like, okay, oops, all fucking crossovers now. I understand why they do that. I understand because that's what makes money and that's what keeps the doors open, but oh my God, it really kind of is alienating to normal people who don't give a shit about these crossovers. Like,
well, to Magic players especially. Who don't give a shit about these
like
crossovers.
endemic Magic players do not give a shit about these crossovers, but it piques the interest of freaks, affectionate, and makes them dabble their toes, spend their money to have the thing, and that's really, all Hasbro cares about. But for Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering specifically, if you play Magic the Gathering enough, and you play these crossover sets enough in addition to like the core sets, you can really tell when they are firing on all cylinders or when they're just getting shit out of the door. And this is a firing on all 120 motherfucking cylinders. Like that was about as close to a perfect set that I can think of in my living memory. Yeah. In my living memory of playing Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, it's a heck of a truck.
Big engine.
It's a 5,000 wheeler.
all the years that I have played Magic off and on, this is probably the set that I'm going to remember the most. Just the way that it worked with Final Fantasy, the way that it worked with Magic the Gathering rules, and all the way that they married that together and made it work and made it fit and brought the kind of like hype of the idea that you can suplex a train in this card game and it works is impeccable. I would love to play more of the Lord of the Rings set to see if you can see elements of that there. But
I have good news. There's more coming.
Yeah, I know there's a Hobbit coming, but I don't really care about the Hobbit. Like that.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like that was great.
Yeah.
Esper helped talk about how great the set is.
All right, how long do we have?
I know, right?
So this was absolutely on my list as well. Specifically the Final Fantasy set, which I had a whole spiel about how, yes, this counts as a video game, even though Arena came out in 2018, whatever. Specifically, like drafting this set, which is all self-contained. It means you're opening 3 packs of just Final Fantasy cards, is a very, really, really compelling experience. They really designed one of the best draft sets of maybe all time. I think Magic the Gathering is the best game humans have ever made. I would show it to aliens as evidence of humanity's worth.
Whoa.
I get why we do the Fortnite thing. It's
you.
exciting to see Assassin's Creed cards and be like, oh, it's doing the thing from Assassin's Creed where he sneaks into a crowd and we don't know which one it is now. There's cool mechanics there. People have since day one been designing like, what would a Gandalf card be like? People have been thinking about this. I do wish it was a different game because I don't like going into Standard, the primary format of Magic the Gathering, and being like, okay, if you're not playing the new Ninja Turtles cards, you're not going to be winning any games. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to play the new Ninja Turtles cards. I don't really want New York in my game about Dominaria. That being said, my close, possibly best friend Alex Jaffe started playing Magic because of this set, and he immediately identified the special thing about it, which is the cards tell stories, is that you can say, oh, the Overkill card is giving -9999 because that's what happens in the game. The Sephiroth card does this because of Sephiroth. Like, all the stories are there on the cards, and it's extreme. Like, it is incredible the artistry of game design you get in something like this. It really evokes so much of what we know and like about these characters and these settings. If you like Magic the Gathering, try some of the other sets that don't have outside characters in them. They're great.
I mean, War of the Spark is right there.
It's a fine set.
I love that set. That's probably like the second one that I would think of as my favorite set. Anyway, the one thing that I really love about video games in general, just being able to see the fingerprints of the humans who made it in the game. And you don't really get that a lot with Magic the Gathering specifically, but you do with this set because, they have there's these things that you can create called tokens, like a token soldier or whatever. And they have these tokens and they're different warriors of light from Final Fantasy XIV. And you just look at these different characters. It's like a 1/1 white soldier, but there are different arts for each, 1/1 white soldier from Final Fantasy XIV. And you just look at them and you know that there is a static of Final Fantasy XIV players at Hasbro that drew their characters on the game. And I love that so much. Because, I love making that human connection through these kinds where you can see and interpret and feel it. That little shit, I eat that shit up. And there's love all over this. You can feel it wafting off of this set in ways that you just can't for other sets. Just a phenomenal achievement of game design that was done both ways. You get Magic, you get Final Fantasy, you get the human aspect of it. Just perfect. It's perfect. I don't know what else to say about it. Try it. It's really hard and scary to think about playing Magic the Gathering. We try our best, myself and Esper, on the insert credit team, we try to make that as least
We did a whole episode
scary.
about it.
Yeah, we did.
We sure
to try
did.
make that as not as scary as it seems. Give it a shot. Just try it. You have to. It's great. Especially, you owe it to yourself as a if you are a Final Fantasy fan, you owe it to yourself to at least try.
Okay, I'm gonna, I guess, slow down because I'm
just
starting
do
to
one
catch
and
up.
then
So I'll
just
I'll do one at a time going forward, unless I feel like combining. So
Sure.
my next one, this is an odd one because it was gonna go on my best of list, and this is the game I played the most that is not on my best of list, and it is called Hell Is Us. Now, this is a game that is.
Did you say hell or L?
Hell, H-E double hockey sticks, is us. Yeah, so these folks made a video game that has a lot of neat stuff in it and some big ideas in it. It's a third-person action game with some like upgrading elements. This is a game that has really neat exploration in it. And I was really impressed by how they dealt with the premise, because it has several storylines going on at the same time, or at least plot lines, I would say, that don't step on each other. So you are a guy who comes back to a place he escaped from as a child. It's an isolated nation that has no contact with the outside world, but he snuck back in to find out some stuff about his family. And this country is in a civil war right now, and both sides are like saying that the other one is terrible, and it's that stuff is a bit forced. Like the dialogue aspect of it is a bit forced. But there's a civil war going on, and also an ancient evil has awoken, and that ancient evil is like chomping through everybody. That's who you fight. You fight this ancient evil here, which may be human made, possibly some sci-fi nonsense going on.
Doesn't sound that ancient of an evil.
Yeah, it's pretty ancient though. There's a lot of oldie times lore, because it may have been a human thing from like the medieval times.
Got it.
All of this is in the framing story of you getting interviewed after having been recaptured, and you're traveling around in an APC and using gear from a separate group that came in to ostensibly possibly break up the Civil War or research the ancient evil. And that sounds really complicated, but it is all presented in such a straightforward manner that none of those storylines clash. They all work together and they all feel really natural. Unfortunately, the dialogue does not do that, and the dialogue is very like both sides are bad, but the media is worse. Expository stuff, but it's there's some neat things to the dialogue too, where like I was taking notes while I was playing, and I was like, this protagonist is talking to a lot of folks in crisis, in really just asking whatever questions he wants, which is like a thing that happens in all of these kinds of games, where someone will be like, oh, where's my dad? I am holding on to my little fluffy bunny, and is my dad dead? And then you can be like, what do you know about this area? And I was like, this guy's a freaking sociopath. And then not 30 minutes later, back in the framing story, the evil guy who's interviewing me is like, so the military says that you're a high-functioning sociopath. And I was like, oh.
They were going somewhere with that.
I just want to say that the main character should never be without a hat, because that curly hair is ridiculous. It just looks bad on him. I'm sorry.
Well, he does have hats a lot, and hats are one of the main things you can collect. Oh, and one thing that was wild to me, they have a section of the game. There's a town that's been burned down, and in that town, it's orange. Like you're in there and it's orange everywhere. The sky is orange. You feel like you're wading through this orange stuff, which is exactly what it was like when there were all the wildfires here and the sky was orange. I was like, whoa, that's real. So like it's one of them must have experienced that, because it's anyway. But the main choice that they made in this game is there's no map. You are running around, going to all these places, at least no minimum. There's like an overworld map, and you can choose, and that's how you choose, I'm going to go to this whole new zone. But once you're there, there's no map. So you're running around, you're exploring by yourself, you're using your eyeballs. That was a cool idea they had until they are like, okay, but there's this one area inside of a giant maze to which you must return several times in order to bring these keys that you get from around the rest of the world. So it's great until they're like, here's a maze and you have to go back to specific rooms in it. And that doesn't work. And the reason that really knocked it off the list for me is there are certain points at which the plot moves forward. There's no indication of when this will happen. And when that does happen, any like side quest you did, like I was gathering milk for a baby, and I had the milk, and I went back, and it's like, oh no, sorry, time moved forward. That baby's dead. And I was like, well, screw you.
Starved to death from lack of milk.
Yeah, it's like, if you don't respect me, I have to stop playing this game. And it was very upsetting because I think I got like 18 hours in to this game, and I was enjoying things about it. Like, the combat is fine, but I really liked exploring the world. The idea of being a weird third party in this place where there's a civil war and mystical stuff and sci-fi stuff all happening at once, and it's well presented, that was really appealing. But they did those two things that were just like, this idea got away from you. This idea it didn't match up to what's ridiculous. And like, if there had been the only consequence of the plot move, like if I knew when the plot was moving forward, that would have been fine. Or if the plot moving forward had like ramifications on like what faction does what sort of thing, that would have been something. Or if it was a game that you were supposed to repeat, that could have done it. But since none of that was true, I just felt very slighted. The only effect of those quests ending was that I felt like the game screwed me.
Yeah. So I have a question.
Yeah.
How does a game developer navigate that? Because I think about the real world. Yeah, we kind of have mini-maps now with cell phones and things like that. But we don't know if, moving as humans through the world, when our actions will have consequences that we can't go back on. And I think that would be interesting to play with in a game.
Yeah.
So how do you balance what a player expects in terms of conventional video games, language, versus trying to make a game feel like you are a human in this world, and and humans sometimes don't know when these things happen, right? I guess the only thing that I can think of is just lampshading it up top, like, hey, you will make choices that will advance the plot, right? Or like, how do you navigate that?
I can feel like an internal conflict in the team with this personally. I don't know if that's true, but I can feel that some people would have wanted people to know, and others were like, no, because we're doing this thing where we don't give you that much information. We shouldn't do that. And then I'm sure that the faction was like, well, okay, if we can't let them know, there should be like, this should have real in-world ramifications that are actually why. But there's of course no time for that, because that's like, now make a bunch more story. So what I would have done is, because they say, this is it's an experience where you have to explore all by yourself and stuff, but they also have tutorial pop-ups. It's like they didn't actually not give you text that explains things. So they could have thrown a line of dialogue in there that it was like, I could feel that the next time I something that things were gonna change. Like they could have thrown that in there for me, and then I would have been like, oop, I'm gonna go do those side quests real quick. They could have done it. But I feel like it probably got away from him.
Because I hate the idea, like when you're in a Final Fantasy and something shows up in text and it's yellow. I'm like, oh, I got to remember that. I don't want to be prompted about those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like, it feels too hand-holdy.
I was keeping a lot of stuff in my head. And indeed, perhaps even more frustrating, there was a guy who was playing the violin. He was in an occupied town, and he only knew songs from the occupied territory. But the occupiers wanted him to play their songs, but he didn't know them. And so, or he only knew one. And so in order to keep him alive, I was supposed to bring him sheet music from the other side. And I did, but it turned out I was supposed to bring him two. And so the next time I came back there, he was like hanging.
Oh,
he was hanging dead because it said I played the wrong music on his chest. And I was like, I freaking brought it to you.
I didn't play enough of the right music.
I did the thing. Yeah, exactly. It's like I didn't play enough of it. I don't know. Anyway, I
only knew Freebird.
This game was like 95% there for me, and they should have just brought me in there, and I would have been like, guys,
here's what to focus on.
Here's what you should do. Okay, that was Hell Is Us.
Keeping with Hell as a theme, Hades 2.
Titties.
If you played Hades, there's more of that.
That's one of the big things I heard about it.
Yeah, I didn't beat it. I didn't
Which
beat
is not
Hades
really
1.
a ringing endorsement.
I don't know. Everybody loved Hades.
They did.
I
know, but if you more of that, like, that's great. Like, if you want more of that, awesome. But like, I don't know, maybe throw a little something different. I know that Hades 2 is different. My husband played it. I didn't.
I did. I barely did.
I barely did too.
I give them a pass because Supergiant has never done a sequel before, and like they've always been trying to innovate every time, and so it's like, let them take a break for this one.
That's fair.
Do one more.
That's the thing,
not that
right?
it's nothing.
It's like we're not going to get Pyre 2. We're not going to get something that's like, okay, this next game we're working on is a soccer game that is in 4 dimensions and there's no gravity and but there's also dating elements. And I didn't like Hades that much either. I kind of just got this game because everybody was talking about it at the time, and I was like, okay, yeah, I need something to play on the plane while I'm flying. And it felt fine. I didn't think the characters were as exciting or interesting, but I didn't think the characters were that exciting or interesting in Hades 1. I'm sorry, I'm a hater, everybody.
Hades.
I don't draw fan art. Sorry. This game's not for me. I think the protagonist is cool. It's a fine design. Everybody seemed to dislike her because she, from what I can tell, correctly
is not Zagreus.
Well, it's not that. It's that she's very one note focused on revenge, whereas Zagreus was a little bit more of like, yeah, I got a thing I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm also going to kind of fart around and do other stuff. Like, imagine if every time you played Yakuza, Kiryu was like, I should really be focusing on this major event I'm doing.
Right, yeah.
Like, I'm
better
too
not get
upset to
distracted.
Yeah. I can't help you with a crane game right now. I have hell to worry about. It's cool. It's more it's Hades 2 is really what it feels like. It
really
feels
Hades
like
2.
The next Hades game. I like Transistor. Do Transistor too.
I feel like if I were working on that game, it would be really hard for me to not have a character say Hades nuts.
That's fun.
Man, the nice thing about these episodes is I don't got to come up with an episode title, but if I did, maybe that'll go in the description or something.
Hades 2 nuts.
Yeah, Hades 2 nuts.
2 nuts. There you go.
You won up to me. That's exactly the right one.
By a whole nut, no less.
Yep. Okay, I will do one more. It is called Shadow Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Okay, Shadow Labyrinth. Maybe you've heard about it. It's the Metroidvania where Pac-Man is a weird guy that follows you around and
I
is
want
made
this.
The Chunin Namco history game.
Yeah, and it's like part of the Xevious timeline. They like put it in a whole friggin'
there's all kinds of
timeline
Mr.
with
Driller's background shows up.
Games since the 80s are all like wrapped up into the lore of this thing. It's I will say the title screen, nice music. Really like get me in the mood to play a video game music from the start. The art is kind of weirdly low res. It feels 1000% like an Xbox 360 downloadable Xbox Live Arcade thing.
Especially with the anime girl, like just showing up and explaining things to you.
It has that weird puppety animation. Jumping doesn't feel amazing. They put a critical action on R3. Why do they do that? I hate that. But basically, you fight enemies, you consume them for parts, and then you use that to buy stuff. You can Pac-Man consumes them. You can also wall climb as Pac-Man. You can transform into a Pac-Mech.
Pretty good.
My final tagline here, I wrote, it's not the best to play, but it's compelling because it's so strange. It's just really weird. You are an unnamed, or I guess you're like called number 8 or something. You're like a shell of a character. And Pac-Man is just telling you what to do and forcibly like symbiotes with you. Whenever you beat a boss, Pac-Man becomes like huge and evil looking and chomps it up and absorbs it. Pac-Man seems to be the evil aggressor in this situation. I haven't played far enough to know if that's the case, but that's what seems like it's happening. And there's an anime girl that is trying to stop you from destroying things, but you keep doing it. It's just so weird. And the reason I wanted to play it more so that I could didn't know if it would actually become a game of the year, but I didn't have time. I found out that because I played on disc, I played it on disc without updating it. I played the version before they made it easier and reduced a lot of the backtracking. One thing that people complain about is that when you get killed, and you do get killed in some really stupid ways, you get warped back to whatever your last save point was, and there aren't enough of them. And so, like, there was one sequence where I redid it like 5 times because of that, and I was just like rolling through. But it's so weird. It's so weird that they made it. I'm so glad that they made it. Yeah. And I feel like what I would recommend is if people are interested in buying it, look for a physical copy because those go on sale all the time, whereas the digital ones don't go on sale that much. And so you can get it a little cheaper, or you can just get it whatever way you want to get it. But it is absolutely interesting, and I'm going to go back and play more of it.
It's cool that they made a game like that, and it's cool that they made a game specifically for Krista Lee. I think that's...
That's right. Yeah, she loves it.
It was good of them to do that.
Secret Level was a lot of things. The only things that I remember from that, like, if you don't know what it is, it's like I think it was on Amazon.
It was on Amazon, yeah.
Yeah, it was on Amazon
produced.
Prime. Yeah, and it was like a bunch of like narrative shorts from a bunch of video games, including one that was just like a big commercial for PS5. There were only 2 things that I think of. Yeah. Oh, right, God. Yeah. There were only 2 shorts in that thing that I thought were good, and it was the Warhammer one and the Pac-Man one. So I'm really glad to see Bandai, Kunitsu Capcom do these like weird, smaller games. And yeah, it doesn't seem like Shadow Labyrinth has the best review score on Steam, but hopefully it's enough of a proof to try these like smaller, weirder games with these established properties to see what new things you can do with the shit. Like, I'm tired of seeing the same Sonic bullshit. Do something different, right? Yeah. And Sega they try. And I need them to get beyond like their standard, this is how we try. And I think this is a nice example from Bandai Namco of like really, really, really trying to get fucking bonkers with it. So I appreciate that.
Me too. I think if you know who Pac-Man is and you've ever been inside a Hot Topic for any reason, ironic or unironic, then you should play this game.
Interesting. Yeah. That's a really weird way to put that because I have both of those things.
Well, it's like some real mall goth aesthetics, I would say, to this thing. So
it's Chuny Pac-Man.
You're up.
Okay. I'm gonna do Doom: The Dark Ages.
Nice.
I like the Doom Slayer. I have a big crush on the Doom Slayer, and I really appreciate how the team has invested in the Doom guy a little bit more personality than was there before. I think they did a little too much with Doom Eternal. I think with the whole Slayer thing, like this lineage of Slayers and, blah, blah, blah. I think that was a little too much. And I think Doom: The Dark Ages kind of brings that back a little bit, and to make Doom guy like he is this fucking super soldier, man. Call me when you need me. I love humanity and I fucking hate demons. I hate anything that is.
But they all hate him, which is weird in this game.
Demons hate him.
No, and so do the humans. The humans are like, we got to get rid of this guy as soon as he gets out here because he's too powerful and unpredictable and spooky. At least in the first hour I played.
Yeah, that's the initial vibe, but they get over that if you finish the game.
All right, I did not.
I love the Doom. I like the way that the way that they do it is so clever with how they invest the Doom guy with like personality. They did it in the first Doom 2016 where you've got the guy talking in your ear like, yeah, we harness the power of hell, but it was really honestly, it was for good reasons. And then the Doom guy, as this guy is talking to you saying this, he looks down at this dead soldier like real slow. And then he looks back at the computer that is talking to him, and then he cracks his knuckles like, yeah, I'm going to beat your fucking ass. No dialogue whatsoever, just all delivered through this stuff. In Doom: The Dark Ages, there's a moment when, I don't know if, Brandon, you talked about how you played this game. Did you get to the dragon?
No, I didn't. Wait, I don't know. I fought one of those.
Did you
big
ride to
fellas
dragon?
No, I did not. I did not.
Okay. There's a part where you get to like your mount, which is this dragon. This is like big, cool fucking dragon with like laser wings. And you're getting ready to mount him, like get on him and ride him. But it takes a second. The Doom guy just like puts his hand on the side of the dragon's neck, like, hey, like, this is my companion, this is my steed, this is my buddy, right? Those little, I live for that kind of, those real small you invest so much emotion in just these little actions. Do that in your video game and you've got me. I love Doom, guys. I've said this on the podcast before, I think, and I'm pretty sure I've written about this, but like the Doom guy is for lovers. Like he loves humanity. He is very specific and serious about how serious he takes his fucking job. Like, I'm here to chew bubblegum and kill demons and save humanity, and there's not a lot of humanity left, and I'm out of gum. So here, let's go. Let's do this.
Everybody loves a professional.
Yeah. And the way that they've like it's this weird, I don't know how to describe the genre where it's like futuristic but also retro. So he's got this shield. Yeah. It's a shield, but he also has like, automatic laser guns and shit like that. Love it.
Yeah.
This where he's Captain America things all over the place.
I did like the shield usage. I thought that was a pretty fun mechanic. Doom guy feels heavy and weighty as well.
He should.
He's a
he's a heavy bastard.
He's a meaty fella.
I didn't like the whole, like, some of the narrative parts about, like, the special girl or whatever and all that kind of shit. Like, some of it, that's kind of weird. But I appreciate that they went, we're in hell, we fight demons. Doom Eternal is like, okay, we're fighting angels, kind of like on the Bayonetta tip. And now with Doom the Dark Ages, we've like, okay, we're in Cthulhu Mythos now. Like, we've got fucking tentacle monsters and shit like that. They're doing great things with evolving the Doom mythology to make it kind of like this, like gonzo batshit, like this guy's just hopping around killing shit and things are just getting weirder and weirder and weirder, but it's okay because it's all thematically consistent. Doom the Dark Ages, great game. I don't give a shit about the combat or the action. It feels great. Feels great to shoot things with like, a gun that shoots chewed up fragments of a skull. But beyond, like, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun.
It's a Doom
and you
game.
get a big mecha that you can like, rock'em sock'em robots with shit and things like that. You get a fucking dragon with laser wings. This is like, hell yeah, the game. It's great. Fun. Good times.
Nice. And also, I thought the music was good. People complained about it not being the same as the other fella, but in my opinion, it's got that gent new metal nonsense going, and it's fine. Like it sounded like Doom to me, so
yeah,
I'm not worried about it.
Good job.
Okay, my next one is the Dark Queen of Mortholme. This is one that I wish I could get Ash's impression of it without talking about it first, but unfortunately that's not possible.
I've looked it up. I am looking at this looks like Blasphemous.
So it's a one screen game where you are the Dark Queen and a hero keeps coming to slay you and you have to keep defeating him or her, I guess. And to me, it got tiresome. But you kill the knight, you walk back to your throne, you kill the knight again. And then at some point it makes it so your regular attacks don't work anymore because they want you to get to the next stage. So then, but there's like different paths. Like if you don't attack the knight, then the knight might leave. It's cool that they had dialogue for that. But I did it because I was kind of bored and not because I didn't want to hurt the knight. The thing that I would like to get, I wish I could get Ash's impressions on, without talking about it, but unfortunately it's not possible. I found the dialogue annoying. Like they were trying to make me as the queen, this like lonely character who suddenly who kind of attaches to the knight, who is the only person that comes into their space.
Yep. That's yep. Mm-hmm.
Right.
You're speaking exactly.
Yeah, right. And it worked that way for a lot of people, but for me, I was like, I wouldn't say this. This isn't me. Like it forced me into a character that I'm not
supposed to play a role in this game
in a way that I could not relate to. It felt like it was lecturing me about opening up to people or something like that. So there's a few endings. It's only 20 minutes long. I think there's like 3 or 4 endings. It was a really nice try at something. I think it's really cool that they did it. I think the idea of games of this scale it's absolutely very cool. It didn't work for me at all, but this is the format of game that I would love to see more of. And a lot of people did wind up playing this game. It is relatively popular compared to how tiny it is. And I think that's neat. It just narratively didn't work for me, but Ash, you should try it because again, it's very low impact on you because it's 20 minutes. See what you think.
This is the kind of game that I would make. Like you are the bad the big bad end boss, and you talk to the hero who comes to kill you over and over again, and you develop a relationship with this hero.
That's exactly
in like the kind of
yeah.
I would fucking love that shit. I love Slay the Princess. This sounds like Slay the Princess, but more kinetic. I love it.
Well, try it. Dark Queen of Mortholme.
If the knight kills you, do credits start rolling? I think that would be how I would do it.
You let the knight kill you?
I forget.
I guess you can.
You can. Yeah,
that's what they're there for.
There's a variety of endings, including you being killed, including you killing the knight, including my ending was the knight walked away, but that was, again, it was because I was bored.
Smoochy romance ending. You know it's there.
Oh, there's no romance. That was actually one of the main complaints, is that it's
not the game Ash would make.
The romance is only implied. It's not...
Imply it. That's even better.
Yeah.
The yearning is what it's about.
Exactly. Yes.
This was another, since we're going to stick with these sort of obscure indie games. Pokemonza.
Pokemonza.
Pokemon Legends Z through A.
Oh, I thought this was like some weird ass game that's ooh, Nintendo is gonna have some words with you. Oh no, I didn't.
It's called Pal World.
It's Pokemon Z/A or Z hyphen
Z
A
dash
or
A.
I got Bubsied.
You got Bubsied.
Yeah, you got Bubsied.
I Bubsied myself.
I played very little of this because I don't own a Switch 2. I don't want to play it on the Switch 1. And it's very hard to emulate, at least as of like a month after it came out. But I did play about up through the first gym, and I like it a lot, actually. I think these are some of the best, like, all the Pokemon are Pokemon you know. I don't believe there's any new Pokemon except for some of the mega designs or whatever.
Nice.
But the character
I don't feel
designs,
like I need new Pokemon every time.
Yeah, I missed out on Scarlet Violet. I didn't like a lot of those Pokemon designs anyway. But the character designs, I think, are some of the stronger ones in a long time. I like the way the characters look. I think they're interesting and approachable. I like the vibes of it a lot. I like this open world style with sort of ATB combat where you're waiting for gauges to fill and stuff. I think that's interesting. I did not play the first Pokemon Legends, but I watched my partner play it. And I like this one more, even though it's a far more sequestered world. It's more of a city than an open world. But I like it because the first location you end up is this nice little luxury hotel that you can tell has been there for 100 years. And it just feels very like, oh, they were really trying to like make a space for you to exist in. And it sounds like that doesn't really follow through for most of the rest of the game. Most of the rest of the game is just, here's city for you to run around in. But the fashion stuff is all very interesting to me. There's interesting stuff going on here. I hope they keep making more Pokemon games like this. I think the turn-based stuff is cool and good. I imagine they'll keep doing mainline turn-based classic, here's 8 gyms for you to get through kind of Pokemon. But I hope they make more of these games. I hope they make Pokemon Yakuza, which is like, if this is just the first Pokemon Yakuza game, and like by the time we get to Pokemon Yakuza 0, I think we'll be in for something really cool and special, especially if they manage to... One of the interesting things they did is like, here's all these characters that have ties to characters from Pokemon, what was it? Z, X, and Y was the gen that this one was based on.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and some of those characters show up. Some of them are referenced in interesting ways. I kind of hope we keep getting that because it does a good job of, like, Pokemon really just makes and then throws away worlds. Like, all those gym leaders have cool designs and they never get to do anything except for kind of 5th gen Black and White, where they kind of have roles in the story. This one, you're interacting with people a lot more, or at least you were in the like 2-3 hours that I managed to play before my emulator was just like, nope, hard stop. So
talking of Pokemon Yakuza, have you played any of the new Digimon games? Because
the last
that's
Digimon
kind of what
I played
I've heard.
Was like 2013-ish, but yeah, if
because those Digimon games are getting to be like big
Yeah,
world.
People love Time Stranger. Like they went up for that.
Yeah.
It's got a visual look that's kind of cool and a little bit matured from where Digimon was in 2002 or whatever it was.
Weirdly, it feels like those two properties are sort of bending in the similar direction somehow.
Yeah, a little bit. They're both kind of trying to grow up a little bit, but not alienate.
I feel like Digimon has been more successful with that. Honestly,
well,
like I look
at
evolving itself.
No, of course not, and it never. I don't think ever got to have that kind of mind share. But Pokemon, to me, at least the mainline games, like I'm really itching to see them try to do something different, which is why I'm really excited to see the other things they're doing with that franchise. So like Pokopia, I know the one where you're playing like a Ditto that has to like remake this world and it's like Stardew Valley-ish. Like I'm interested to see.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Nintendo play with the format a little bit. Pokemon Unite, Pokken Tournament, those kinds of things, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Like, give me. I'm interested
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, I'm interested to get back into that world, but I don't want to do it through a mainline Pokemon series because, as far as I'm concerned, I know that it has changed. Do not beat my ass about this. I know that it has changed, but it has not changed significantly enough for me to bring me back to the mainline series.
The ATB combat is interesting. Like the timing based stuff.
And I know that ZA did that stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. And I wonder if that's significantly different enough to be appealing to me. But thinking about Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield and all those other things, I'm like,
those are just Pokemon games. I think you will like ZA, if only because you get to put your trainer in very cute outfits.
And that's really the only reason why I would play it.
Me too. That's the whole reason I downloaded Ryu, Jinx, and Citrone, and 3 other Switch emulators.
Okay, my next one is Hotel Barcelona.
Ooh,
this is
tell me more.
Swery and Goichi Suda's collab. It is not the collab that anybody necessarily would have expected because it's pretty much a kind of run-based roguelike-ish thing. It's got an odd story. I got a couple question marks about it, but I won't get into it. But it's, it's like you... to boil it down, you wind up in a hotel where everybody's kind of trapped there, and there's a kind of an undead skeleton man mummy thing in your closet. No, there's a monster in the closet. The undead mummy man kind of merges with you, and all of these things are helping you figure out how to get out of here and how to get them out of there. There's maybe a witch that's in charge of the hotel, but then you just go on these runs doing combat, and the combat is all right. It has some weird things, like you'll sometimes randomly change size at the start of a run, so you'll be like twice the size of usual, or you'll be really tiny. And the main cool thing, which I think maybe I know Super Time Force did it, maybe some other things, but all of your preceding runs are recorded and run along with you.
Sure.
And so they are sometimes useful and sometimes not. Your prior avatars, they attack whatever enemies used to be there, and they're not there now, but sometimes that's still beneficial to you. Each area has multiple paths that you can take through it. Like there are doors that you enter, which give you a little benefit, and then you go to a different part of that map environment, and then you do another thing, and then you go through another door. The critical flaw that this game has is it is the most fun when you have all of your past avatars with you and you're just like a squad and you're destroying everything. But if you choose a different path than you chose before, they all disappear. And so which makes sense because it's like they're
on their path.
Yeah. They're on their path. They don't know how to interact with this environment. But it means that I don't want to experiment very much. I don't want to try new paths because it is more fun when I have all the characters together with me. So that's like I don't know how you would have gotten around that other than maybe having the paths just be linear. But yeah, it's like it's neat. There's a lot of ideas in there, a lot of cool little things in it. And it's also not super easy to tell which way your phantoms went, so you kind of have to remember. But it's a neat game. I think it's worth exploring. But it is, there's a couple things I would have done differently.
Yeah, I remember a Flash game that was like, okay, you're going to get 10 tries to get through all of this. And, when you get to like the 3rd level, all you can do is like hold down a button until you run out of time. And then your next you're like, oh, that button opened a door, so I'll go through there. And that's fine because it's a linear path that you're just trying to like brute force your way through. I imagine trying to make a whole like sprawling Metroidvania out of that is confusing.
I don't know how much, in video game developer world, key art is a factor in, getting people to play or at least look at your games. But the key art for this Hotel Barcelona is phenomenal. And if I were just like a regular person and not, a former
elite gamer.
Yeah, elite game journalist person, like I would play this game on the strength of the key art alone because it is phenomenal. It is
the key art is
beautiful.
Cool. Anyway, that's that for me.
Ash, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna do Last Defense 100. What is it? 100 Line Last Defense Academy.
This is the number one game that I should have played but did not.
Oh.
So I don't remember how this game fell into my lap. I think it was because I really don't, because I have an affection for the Danganronpa games, but I don't not like that. And I've only watched Let's Plays of them. I've never played them. So I picked up the 100 Line Last Defense Academy thinking that it was a Danganronpa, and it's this game, and it has all the hallmarks of it. You are a kid that gets, abducted and put into this like school
Nunnery
academy
game
setting.
Thing. Yeah.
Where you're locked up in this school with a bunch of different characters, and there's this looming thing of like death is coming for you, and what you have to do is fight off monsters from destroying your academy. I forget the specifics of it or whatever, but I kept waiting because I knew this was made by the people who made Danganronpa. I was and it had all the hallmarks of a killing game. I'm thinking like, okay, when are the motherfuckers going to start dying? And they don't start dying, and I was really upset. But I still enjoyed the game outside of that. It was a really interesting, it's not a strategy game, but it kind of feels like a strategy game in that you do combat on like this grid thing. You have to move around on this grid. They move toward you on this grid. They attack things. You have to stop them from attacking your school and destroying the school. Like it's like tower defense with a little bit of strategy elements. Different characters have different abilities that do different things. You've got like support characters, and you've got like, attack characters, all those kind of things. And you've got like this school setting where you can like go around and do like social links and things like that. And I just was really expecting a murder game, and it didn't happen. But the things that did happen were actually really interesting.
Why weren't they killing teenagers?
Why weren't they killing teenagers? I literally, if you know nothing about this game and you only know Danganronpa, you pick it up and the art style, the gameplay, the characters, everything, you think teenagers are going to start dying.
I had assumed teenagers would start dying. I was not aware they didn't.
They don't die. I really enjoyed the game. It was really cute and interesting and fun. I wish teenagers had died because
there's 100 endings in that thing.
Yeah, but
seems like a lot.
I can't imagine. So this is what I didn't get to with this because I didn't play it. I really wanted to. Is it fast? Like, do you get to an ending quick, or is it like there's 100 endings and it's 20 hours each time or something?
It's like 20 hours each time because I never got an ending.
Jeez,
Lord!
I played enough. I played a lot. Like I played a lot. But I did not get an ending. So
Okay.
I know that it's supposed to be 2 games in one. They just came out with something about that. We'll have to. I'll get the link for you, Esper, to talk about that. But if you like, I forget who makes those games. What's the name of that guy?
Spike Chunsoft?
Spike Chunsoft.
But there's a director of it, which is his name is God darn it, it's
Danganron Paul.
Kodaka. Kodaka is the main guy that I was aware of, he's like the Danganronpa writer's designer, but it's also the Uchikoshi guy who is known for the Zero Escape series, which also makes you expect teens to die. So it's those two co-directing a video game. So it's another co-direct, or I guess suited in co-direct, but yeah.
And the thing I will say is that I really appreciate that these games have gotten to the point where they're trying to outthink you, because I think they know what you expect and that they are working to subvert those expectations and keep you on your toes. Like, oh, where is this going to go next? Like, what are they going for with this? Throughout this game, because I was expecting, children to start dying and me trying to solve their murders. Because that didn't happen, I was constantly on my toes wondering, where is this going to go? Where is this going to go? And at no point could I determine or figure out what happens next. And that's very interesting for a video game, because you can typically, once you start seeing things like, okay, you can okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Doesn't happen with this one. So if you like being kept on your toes, you like that kind of action, strategy, combat, tower defense, tactics kind of thing with like a bonkers ass story with a bunch of weirdos, it's a great game.
Cool. I think, if you get the opportunity to watch that anime I was talking about, Gnosia. I think that if you watch that and you find it in any way appealing, I think that both you and I should play the game upon which it is based, because that is a game where everybody dies a lot, but it's a time loop thing. And the play sessions are short, but there's still social link stuff going on. I have a suspicion that it might be a cross section of our interest. So
there you go, folks. Brandon and Ash are going to stream all 100 endings together live.
No,
that's okay.
We'll have a conversation when this is over. It's a brief conversation, Brandon, about such things. But no, that's not a thing I will do.
No. Okay, my next one is called Shujinkou. Now, this game is just bonkers to me. So this is a game that is a full...
that is a $60 game. What are you talking about?
I know. It's nuts. This is an Etrian Odyssey style dungeon RPG that tries to teach you Japanese. If you want, and if you don't, it won't. It has
I just read that.
it has like five levels of interest in learning Japanese and of existing knowledge of Japanese, and it's
all right. Maybe it's $60 game.
It's really wild. So this was clearly one person's dream, and the very first thing that you get is him making a tribute to his mom who died of cancer. And like she couldn't see this game, and it's which is nice, but it's such a weird way to start a game that has nothing to do with that for me as a player.
That's that human fingerprint shit again.
It's just so odd. So basically you're doing a dungeon crawler. You gain moji, like Japanese characters, starting with phonetic ones and then moving along to equip on your weapons, and you try to match them to the enemy's name. So like if it's a rabbit, then it's then you learn that's Usagi, and so you want to find the U, and if you get the U, if you attack with the U character, that is an element that will do extra damage to that thing. And so you slowly learn what these things mean. And then like as you're traveling around the dungeon, there are like signboards that explain like grammar and concepts to you, and each thing has, it's like you want to, they have thousands of voice recorded lines of a Japanese person reading that in like a female voice and then a male voice, so that you can get the nuances.
It's on the Switch.
And but it's also really rough in a lot of ways. Like the menus are very basic. The fonts are bad. It's structured very strangely. Like it says you should go east, but actually it wants you to talk to someone in the west first. The writing is very talky, and it doesn't really, but there's not a lot of character to it. But it is so blazingly ambitious, just absolutely ridiculous. And I listened to this guy, like a little interview with this guy, and I was like, how did he make this? How did he do this? And it was like 10 years or something of working and working like contract jobs, taking all the money from that, just eating like beans and ramen himself, and paying all the other contractors with whatever money he had left over. And he said he ate beans for 3 years, like without exaggeration. And this game, not very many people have played it, and I feel bad about that. Again, I could see this person in me as well. Like I've been the person eating beans and like doing a contract job like Street Fighter 30th anniversary, I took a very small amount of the money I made from that game, and the rest of it made Gunhouse. And it's I could totally relate to it. The RPG aspect is decent. They did so much work. They did so much work on this game, and I hope it teaches some people Japanese. Maybe it's just the existence of this game is mind blowing. So
I love it.
That's
incredible.
I love this shit.
Yeah,
I want that game to exist. I want that game to do well.
Yeah. Esper time?
Yeah, I got either 4 or 5 left.
I have 3 left.
Oh,
cool.
Wow, shoot.
I took 1 out.
I am going to go with, let's talk about Haste. Haste was cool. Haste is, I don't know anything about the team behind it. I just saw a demo for it on Steam. One thing you gotta know about me is I love snowboarding games. I love skateboarding games. I love going fast and doing tricks. And Haste, the main character, kind of looks like Klonoa. She's adorable. She's got big, goofy glasses and suspenders, a big hat. Wahoo. And this isn't quite like an SSX or a Tony Hawk. It's very movement based. You're running at extremely high speeds through a kind of wavy world with some ramps and stuff. But what you really want to do is get some air, and then instead of like just landing, the real key is you have to land at exactly the right angle of the ground as you're coming in so that you can keep your momentum. Otherwise you lose, combo and all this stuff. So it took me a while to figure that out. But once I did, I was having a really good time just like getting air, doing tricks, moving fast. I was in flow state. I was exactly where I wanted to be. The vibes of it are okay. The graphics are all right. It's a little bit, kind of modern, current fantasy, Fortnite-y, whatever. But there's characters, there's design. Just feels really good.
Okay.
Ash figured it out.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this for a game that I've never heard of. It has so many reviews, like over 7,000. Really? And I'm like, who are these people? Yeah. They're the same people who made Peak. That makes sense.
They didn't make Peak, but
they publish.
They published Peak.
Yeah, and there's a demo, which is most of what I played. It's a $20 game. I don't know if there's $20 of game in it, but I was having a good time. Like, there's not a whole lot to it other than I'm going fast, I'm doing tricks, I'm working out lines to keep my momentum going. There's a couple different in this level you're going to be trying to collect these things, you're going to be trying to do this, but it's not as involved as it's not open world the way a Tony Hawk is, and it's not as thoroughly designed as a SSX is. And those are kind of my 2 go-tos that I like. But it does feel good once you get the hang of it. It took me a while to get the hang of it. The only thing that kept me from digging in and really playing more of it was after the first string of maybe 10 levels, you hit a boss, and the boss, I went up against it 5-6 times and I was like, I don't think I'm getting this. And I just stopped there. But if you play the demo, there's more than enough gameplay there to have a cool afternoon. It's great on Steam Deck. The music I remember being pretty okay. There's cool stuff in that game. Haste. Check it out.
I'm going to do a quick one here. This is a game called AI Limit. It is an anime Souls-like. I don't like Souls-like games. It's visually decent, but if you don't like Souls-like, this is not going to be the game that convinces you.
Cool.
Just a quick thing about it. There's platforming where you can just fall to your death, and then it respawns you back in whatever hub thing. And the way that you jump is to press L3 while sprinting. So you have to be running, and you have to hit, and you have to push into the thing that's making you run that direction. And it's very easy to accidentally slightly change direction. And I died twice in a row doing that and deleted it from my hard drive.
Game of the year, baby, 2025.
It made me so mad. I was just mad. So if you
would
want to
be
make me
too.
mad, that's the way to do it. Yeah, I played that game and I did not like.
Not a fan of AI.
No, not a fan of AI. And just to I was in a group of people that were playing a bunch of these games, and I asked and I was like, I don't like, should I play this more? Am I missing something? And someone who had played it much more was like, you're better off stopping as soon as you stop, as soon as possible. So that was not a big endorsement. Ash.
All right. Next, I'm gonna do my last, not bullshit, but I'm gonna do my last like fun one before we get to the serious stuff. Super Robot Wars. Why?
Oh wow!
So I have never played a Super Robot
Super
Wars
Robot
game.
Warsy,
Yeah,
as we call it.
That is what it's called. I've never played a Super Robot Wars game before, but if you know anything about me, especially if you know anything about me in 2025, is I discovered Gunpla.
Right.
So I'm gonna.
There's a lot of robots in that Super War.
There's all my Gunpla right there.
Got a couple buddies.
Yeah, and I forget how I came across this game with respect to my Gunpla like hobby, but I found it and I played it. I'm like, this is exactly what I want. Like, it's all of the Gundams. It's all of like does the robot shows have like, do they have like a special name in Japan, or is it just like whatever?
I don't think so, but they
kind of what are they called? Sai for the Power Rangers. What are they called? Sentai. Yeah. Okay. It's like all of those Japanese big robot shows.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, everybody's in there.
Ultraman and Gundam.
Mazinger Z is in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a Robo is in there.
All that shit. I don't know anything about anything except for like fucking Gundam. But I really appreciated like being introduced to all these different characters, all the different kinds of like mecha shows that they have over there, all of the... I don't know. I really liked having like Fortnitification of Gunpla. Like that's all it was to me, and I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, it's been going since like 1991.
For fucking ever. Yeah, I heard about that.
And the Saturn is where it really took off, so it's important to me.
Brandon basically invented these games.
Pretty much. I really appreciate that Japan has like these long series of games that I don't know about, but that are like incredibly cued into like one very specific interest. And Super Robot Wars is like a very good example of that. And I'm glad I discovered it, and it was a lot of fun. And it really like kind of, I wanted to play this game because I really wanted to get Gunpla in some respect on The Verge, because they wouldn't let me just write about Gunpla. And that was my way to do it, so I appreciated it for that. It's a dumb story. It makes no fucking sense, but that's not the point. The point is you want fucking Wing Zero fighting Nightmare Frames from Code Geass. Like, that's why we're here. Like, let's put the guys together and make them fight. Like you're playing, I don't know, Army Men, like when you were a kid.
Yeah, it's action
figures. Do they still do that? And it's like action figures.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that's cool about that series is obviously it has all those big animations and cool things happening. The robots are fighting each other and whatever. But it's made by such robot fetishists that like those sequences are all like, oh, that's from episode 23 of blah 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 when he did this thing and that thing happened. It's just like all robot fan service all the time, and I really appreciate that. It's actually not really the game for me, but I so happy for that sort of thing to exist. I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
I love that.
The sickos are out there.
Exactly.
They're out there.
This is a very sicko game. This is like a very special niche interest game. I'm glad that it exists. And I'm glad that it's existed for like the last 30 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do Routine. Routine is the game that you may have seen people talking about on social media, where it has a cool little gun-looking thing that has all these physical, like flip open this part, and there's a doodad and whatever.
No one has talked about this.
It's very. They have. It's very very 80s retro future kind of stuff. All the Aftermath people were talking about. It
only become one of those recent.
It looks cool. It has an interesting vibe. It's a survival horror kind of thing, but it had a few big problems for me. And this is why I stopped playing it. So first of all, the story is you've been in quarantine for a week, to come up to fix some problem. You're an engineer that's been brought up to the moon to fix some problem on this moon base. You've been in quarantine for a week. You get out of quarantine, everything's destroyed. Like maybe everyone's dead. But you still have a job to do. You're still supposed to figure out what's going on. So you get this tool that lets you scan things. It lets you. There are modules that let you like use a black light, and then it has a charge which will stun enemies, which are these killer AI robots, security robots that went rogue. One of the first problems is you can stun those things for about an second. and then they come after you again. And
I like the VHS gun. That's cool.
That would be fine if so the world is the most interesting thing about it. Looking around and exploring the world is the most interesting thing about it. But these relentless thingies, they post up in the most interesting areas. And so you can't look at the stuff. And that is it's frustrating. And it's also frustrating when the real core of the game is doing puzzles, like figuring out like I have to get this thing and bring it over here and do that thing. And those guys are in the way of you doing it, which is a kind of friction that doesn't appeal to me. If I'm doing my brain figure out, I don't want to also be doing my running away, because if I know I have to go over there, but those guys are going to follow me over there and kill me, then
you got to change modes.
Yeah, and that doesn't really work for me. There's some other stuff that just there's a lot of not forecasting what the gun can do. Like the very first place you have to use it, it doesn't explicitly tell you, but then after that, it always tells you. So which is, I don't know. It's just it's a strange method of doing that. And the other thing that is kind of odd in the world is you're learning about the people that were inhabiting this space through logs that you see on a computer, and you do you move a little mouse cursor around and click on the emails and stuff, and it's very
always
tactile
appreciate that.
in a neat kind of way. But all these characters are leaving notes for each other, which are how to solve the puzzle. Which again, I can see the game designer brain being like, oh, people can't figure this out. We got to put, and so the notes are like, if this terminal doesn't work, go over there and get this battery, and then bring it back over here. And it just winds up kind of reducing the quality of what they were going for with the exploration of the space and the figuring stuff out for yourself. It felt like they get caught in between. Do we make them figure it out? Do we tell them what to do? And they sort of like wound up swept in between. And it's a shame because I really liked the aesthetics of it a lot. I liked moving through the space. Frankly, if you had it without the enemies, I think I would have enjoyed it more. Like, I don't think I needed the threat there. Or the threat could have been dramatically milder. Because it's like a weird, spooky, foreboding place anyway. You don't really need that to me.
It's interesting you say that, because the two of the things you just said made me think of Crow Country. Crow Country also has these notes that tell you how to solve the puzzle, but because they are notes that it makes sense the people in this world would leave.
Yeah.
It feels totally fine. You're like, yeah, this guy would be like, oh, I left the key over in this room. Sorry, please go get it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Screwed up again. And then also, I played Crow Country with no enemies, and I thought it was like really fun and interesting.
Yeah.
So that's a mode you can choose?
It is.
I wouldn't have played it if it didn't have that.
Yeah, it's so cool to me. I didn't play it that way, but I was like, I want my partner to play this, but she doesn't like enemies and
you don't want to shoot
like,
at creepy things that are crawling.
What if she played it without the enemies? But she was still too spooked.
Aww.
It's a spooky game, but yeah. So it sounds like maybe this game could learn from Crow Country.
Yeah, they really could have benefited from that in my IMHO, as they say. Okay, Esper, right?
Yes. I got let's say 3 left.
Cool.
I'll do a big one. Civ 7. Sid Meier's Civilization VII.
You like that one, huh?
I liked it more than Civ 6. I did not like it more than Civ 5.
There
Civ 5 to me, perfect
is the platonic ideal of a civilization game. Yes.
Much like Magic the Gathering, it's one of those things where I realized I could die just playing this for the rest of my life. And that's kind of scary. Like, I know that I don't need to play any other games besides Magic the Gathering. And Civ 5 is like, I know that if I just had this, I'd be okay. I could play a game of Civ every night or a half a game, and I would never get tired of it. I would always be able to enter that flow state.
That's Civ 5 and Age of Empires 2.
Well, that's the thing. I realized I'm not a 4X fan. I am a Sid Meier's Civilization fan. I don't like Endless, whatever it was, the one that has kind of like, it's Civ, but with hero characters. And I don't like the Space 4X games. I don't know why. Maybe it's just vibes and aesthetic, but the
Space 4X games, you're right, because I think I played Beyond Earth and I didn't like
that one either. I also played Beyond Earth, and I thought it was okay, but I certainly only put, 50 hours into it as opposed to the hundreds.
9 million.
Yeah, hundreds and hundreds of hours in Civ 5. I haven't checked recently, but I know it's at least 400. Civ 6 didn't hit for me. I think the district system was weird. It's just more limiting than I want it to be. I want to be able to build the Eiffel Tower wherever. I don't want to have to do it in an area without mountains or whatever. Like, whatever. Let me just do the thing. I don't like the civics tree, and Civ 7 still has the districts. It still has the civics trees that it's not that I don't like them. I just don't really understand how it works a lot of the time. Like, it puts you in a lot of different modes.
That's my whole thing with Civilization is like, I look at it and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to understand this.
Which is why Civ 5 is the platonic ideal, because it is just crunchy enough without being too complicated where you can understand what's going on.
Okay.
You can boot up Civ 5.
The nice thing about Civ 5 is you can automate your workers. You can just say, everywhere in my empire, just start improving things. And then you don't have to care about that system anymore. Whereas in Civ 6, it's like, okay, you have a worker and they have 3 charges. Figure out what you're improving, and also figure out where to place this, and figure out how it's going to interact if you have guys coming in over here. Civ 7 does not fix all of these problems, I don't think. But I did like, there's a system before in Civ, it would be like, oh, you're playing Gilgamesh and you're Babylon. Now it can be like, okay, you're playing Ben Franklin of the Ottoman Empire. And like, that ended up being more interesting than I thought it would be.
That was fucking cool.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of, I expected to dislike that going in, but it's cool because you get bonuses for being like, oh, Ben Franklin was influenced by Greek and Roman empires, and you get a little bit of a bonus for doing that, or being like, oh, so there's still cool history alignment stuff happening there, even if you get to be a little fan fiction-y. I have not played nearly as much of it yet. But I think I probably will go back to it in a way I did not go back to Civ 6. I probably won't play it more than Civ 5, though. Sorry. It's just the perfect game. Ash, let's get a Civ 5 game going.
Oh, hell yes, please. Let's do that.
I'm in.
I got to go to Maryland to preview Civ 7.
Oh,
it's the first time I've been to Maryland. I had a crab cake. It was great. The thing that I really appreciated about that was the fact that you could mix and match your leaders with your civs. I thought that was really interesting, especially because of the fan fiction thing. I remember going to Firaxis, and I remember being really impressed by how they were approaching how they tell the story of history in these games. Like they gave this big presentation about how London was built from Roman settlement to this autonomous Anglo-Saxon city to the London that we think of today. And I thought that was really interesting and fascinating. The only thing, I agree with everything Esper said. Civ 5 is the platonic idea of a Civ game. Civ 7 is a bit too detailed or complex for my tastes.
It's I prefer just that slightly more crunchy than I want it to be. Exactly. It's not that I dislike these systems. I just wish I could automate them a little bit more.
Yeah, like the whole district thing is just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'll share the story that I enjoyed talking about my time visiting Bethesda and Civ 7. I went Firaxis, yeah. I want to call it Bethesda because it's Maryland. I went there. We were at I was at my hotel. We went. I was walking around Maryland. I think I ran into another journalist. Their name is Jam Walker from Australia. I ran into Jam while I was, walking around Maryland, and I decided I'm going to kidnap this person. So I kidnapped this person and we went on this grand adventure of Boston. We went to the aquarium. Boston has a really great aquarium. We went there. A bird shat on me. It was really great. It was really fun. It was just this random thing that I was not planning on doing. And I kind of didn't want to do it because I kind of wanted to be by myself. But I'm like, all right, let me take a chance.
Why not
and
make
I did.
a friend?
Exactly. And I wound up making a really wonderful friend that was really
good.
great.
That's
we
nice.
went to like one of like the oldest bars in America.
That's what civilization is all about. Making
Exactly.
That was the point I wanted to make. And
Oops. I jumped the gun.
no, it's fine. It was just really great bonding.
We live in a
experience.
society.
Like because I can't explain enough that I really did not want to. This person, I think they approached, if I'm trying to remember it correctly, they approached me. They were like, I'm a fan of your work. You're really great. And I was really touched and humbled by it. And I was going to continue on about my day because I had plans and whatever. And I'm like, all right, fine. Let me just ask this person to come with me. And I did. And I took that chance and I took that shot. And I wound up making a friend that I know that I will have for life. And just the idea of like opening your heart to an experience that you maybe really don't want to do, and you just decide to just like, fuck it, do it, can do so many things for you that you don't expect. And so that's the story that I have about Civ 7. It was a great time. Jam Walker is a great friend. I'm glad I was able to meet them through this weird experience. And Maryland crab cakes are actually really good. So
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Yeah, take the ride.
So I counted wrong. I still have 8 left. So I'm going to go back to doing 2.
Yeah, please. I have 2 left.
Okay.
So maybe 3.
Yeah, I'll be
have
quick. Well,
2
Esper
left.
still has 2, so
Yes.
that'll do us. Okay, Blast Rush LS. This is a little shooting game. Ray Barnholt, former game journalist, made this with his bipedal dog company.
What?
Yeah. It's a
Oh, that's the name. Oh, I got Bubsied again. That is literally the name of the. Okay, got it.
Bipedal Dog is the name of his company.
Yeah.
So Blast Rush was a game he made a long time ago. Blast Rush LS is like the larger version. It's a kind of run-based shooting game with an emphasis on gusts, which are like you wiggle your ship back and forth, and it shoots wind out each side that kills enemies on the side of you. It's very score attack oriented, I should say, not run-based. Your main attack is bombs. You have a regular shot, but it's very weak and doesn't really kill things usually. Bombs are your main attack, and they have a cooldown. It takes a while to get the hang of it, and you can't always attack when you want to, which is hard to get used to because of the cooldown. It's very nice. It still feels like somebody's cool itch idea, which ultimately it is. And it's sorry, Ray, it's super in need of optimization. The loading loading times are huge, 800 megs for a very small game. So there's some stuff going on there, but it's a neat game. I think if you get the opportunity, even just try the original Blast Rush on itch, because it's cool, and not enough people have played it, and it's like trying to take the space of Cyvarier, which is the game that invented scraping, and it's kind of evolving that a little bit. So give it a look.
Neat.
I have to play this game because it came out on my birthday, August 21st.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Next, Advent Neon. This is some people were calling it a Sonic-like, but it's more of a Socket-like.
Okay.
Socket the Time Dominator.
No.
Socket is a Genesis game starring an electric duck that
Sure.
Sounds awesome.
that can go fast and do kicks. And that's pretty much what you do in this. It has a lot of buttons. There's a dash, there's 2 attacks. There's a lot more fighting enemies. So it's kind of, like I said, Socket-like meets Smash. A lot of fighting enemies, a lot of smacking dudes, making them bounce everywhere. It's pretty mashy in some ways, but not in a bad way. They even warn you that there's a lot of button mashing. A lot of secrets to find in the platforming. Unfortunately, since there are a lot of options, you have like running, different types of running, different types of hit types and dashing and stuff. And the screen isn't very wide relative to the characters, so it's easy to do things you didn't intend to in the more complex platforming bits, at least for me. It zooms out for the bosses, but there's also lots of lore and stuff. And also, I don't know if this is going to be a weird thing to say, but as soon as I loaded it up, I was like, oh, a young black person made this game. And
really?
Yeah. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, I know who made this. And then it was true.
What gave it away?
It was just first of all, it was the art style. Second of all, it was how it played. And third of all, then all the black characters showed up after that. But it was before that happened that I was just like, I know I've met this person. I've met this person in my life. And I'm so happy that they made this game. And it seems to be doing relatively well. It's really a nice game. If you like that vibe, if you like fast, frenetic, and hitting the buttons, this game is going to do that for you.
Is it because it has DNA of Sonic that you were able to intuit that a black person made this? I'm utterly fascinated by the idea that you can tell somebody's race based on the game that they have made.
It's the Sonic vibes.
Because I'm looking at the trailer and I see the Sonic elements of it, but that doesn't automatically scream black person. So I'm buy it and see what you think. I'm really curious if you would have the same feeling as me. Okay, that's interesting.
Because it really was just like immediate. It was the art style. It was the sonicness. It was the music. It just really felt like
had the vibes.
Someone who grew up with like DeviantArt and that Flash portal.
Newgrounds.
Newgrounds.
Yeah, Newgrounds.
It was like a Newgrounds Sonic fan who, but I could feel like that it came from a perspective. That it was like someone's version of this thing that they wanted to do. And cool. that just all wrapped together for me to be like, I think I know who made it. Anyway, I know it's a weird thing to say. But,
I like that. That's very interesting. I'm curious to see if I can intuit that out.
See if that'll happen for you. Okay, you're next, Ash.
All right, second to the last. Choosing between the two. All right, fine. I'm going to put the AAA game on the list. I'm going to Donkey Kong Bonanza. I don't care about Donkey Kong. That's not.
Thank you.
He's not. Yeah, he's not.
I don't want to spend any time with Donkey Kong.
I don't either. Like Donkey Kong 64 was not it. Like Tropical Freeze, fine. Donkey Kong Country, whatever. But I went to the Nintendo Switch 2 experience in April of last year after the Switch was revealed, but before any of the games. And, they had this smattering of games at this event in New York. And one of them was Donkey Kong Bonanza. And it was immediately evident that this was the game of the show. Immediately evident. Immediately. Like you've got like Civ 7 and Dragon Drive, which was the wheelchair basketball game. You had Metroid Prime 4 there. Like you had Mario Kart World there. You had all these like Switch 2 exclusives there to show off this game. And you had your Mario Kart, obviously, Metroid Prime 4 that people were waiting for a very long time. But it was very clear, very quickly that Donkey Kong Bonanza was something special. And then you got the full game and you realized, yep, this is exactly it. With the Switch 2, I was waiting for, I'm not a 2D Mario person. I appreciate 3D Marios better. I really enjoyed Super Mario Galaxy. I really enjoyed Super Mario Odyssey. So I've been waiting for another 3D Mario for a very long time. Something new, not like Bowser's Story with that add-on to that one game or whatever. Like I want something new. And I was really disappointed that, with the arrival of the Switch 2, we didn't get a new 3D Mario because it's been 2017 since Super Mario Odyssey came out. And so I was thinking like, okay, obviously with the Switch 2, they're going to come up with something different, but they didn't. But then I realized that Donkey Kong Bonanza was supposed to be that game for them.
Donkey Kong's the Mario.
Yeah. And it did that in spades. I initially thought that, the Switch 2 is a must-buy for Mario Kart World, and I've kind of pulled back on that a little bit. But the Switch 2, it's not a must buy at this point, but if you were gonna do it, Donkey Kong Bonanza is the game that best demonstrates the Switch. Like that best makes the case for for owning a Switch 2. It's a great game. It's a fun game. It's Nintendo magic doing all that bullshit again. Like it's really hard to say something new or say that they're doing something new and interesting with this game because they aren't. But it is different for a Nintendo property. The way that they approach destructive environments, the way that they approach that kind of like gameplay in the same way that they did with Super Mario Odyssey with the expansive worlds and the different powers and things like that. Or it's not new. It's not new. But because it's Nintendo and because of the little tiny things that Nintendo does differently.
Yeah, they polish them up.
Yeah, it's like... So it's really hard to talk about Nintendo games because often they aren't doing something new or different, but you look at them and they look like magic. You look at
this one, Donkey Kong has a tech tree.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. But they do something so different that it's like, wow, what do they do? Like, wow, like this is just enough where it feels like magic. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom felt like magic. Donkey Kong, for some reason, even though really the only like newness to it is destructible environments, it feels like magic.
They really know how to make a video game over there. They just
They really do. They really do.
Tumble them around until they come out real polished, and they know how to make them.
Really don't think
people
it's
who
because
like those games love those games.
Yeah,
I don't have that hang up on Nintendo. I was not a Nintendo girly. None of us here are. Yeah. But there is something special about the way that they make their games, especially with the Switch and the Switch 2, that is like, damn, I want whatever they have in the water at Nintendo HQ. And I think it's less about the fact that they are innovative, because I don't think they are. I think it's because they are very dedicated to keeping people with talent around. One of the things that stands out to me about Nintendo as a game journalist is going to GDC and hearing people talk about Breath of the Wild and hearing the bona fides of the people that they have on these games that started 20 years ago on, Spirit Tracks. Like the guy who was like the game director or like the sound director or had moved his way up from, being a QA tester on Spirit Tracks to running an entire division for for Tears of the Kingdom. And that continuity, I think, allows Nintendo to make use of their talent pool in ways that other game companies that go through churn and all that stuff just don't. And I think that is DK Bonanza is another example of that. I think they did really good with not Rosalina, Pauline.
Pauline.
Yeah, I liked Pauline. I liked her in Super Mario Odyssey. I'm glad that they've done some different things with her in Donkey Kong Bonanza, because I think I'm a Pauline truther in that this Pauline in Donkey Kong Bonanza is like the granddaughter of the original Pauline or whatever. It's smart. It's fun. I was really impressed with the ending of that game, which has some I'm not going to spoil it, but it has some like interesting references to previous Donkey Kong games. Fucking great game. It's Nintendo magic again. Good job, guys.
Nice. If I get a Switch 2, I will get it.
If I get a Switch 2, I probably won't.
And it's okay. You don't have to play it, but it's a lot of fun. All of the different powers are really great. I think somebody at Nintendo working on that game is really into furry Bara, because all of Donkey Kong's transformations are these big muscle animals. So you got like a muscle zebra and a muscle ostrich and all those things that Donkey Kong can transform into. I think there's like, I know what you are there. So congratulations. It's a fun, cute game. Like they did a lot of really cool things. I like the theming of the world. The worlds, there's like the snow world is like ice cream, that kind of shit. Like, it's just fun playgrounds to play in that they do in very good ways. Very smart, intuitive ways that seem very simple and not very like, this is different. They do the really simple things really, really well that other games just don't do.
Like a nice pasta. Okay, I'll do my next two. Actually, both of these almost made my list. It's part of why I forgot how many I had, because I had to bring them over from my possible GOTY list over to here. One is called Cronos. This is a very Polish video game about Poland.
Cronos the New Dawn, I assume.
Cronos the New Dawn. Okay. Yeah, it is about a some sort of a time cop, basically, that gets sent back to a period in Poland when there's a big bunch of rifts going on, and it's
for the normie people in the audience. These are the same people that did the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah, it is Bloober Team, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's good. It feels good to play. I love the world because I'm all in on that vintage Polish and Russian sci-fi movie stuff because I've been watching so much of that across the last 2 years, and it really gets me into that spot. But it's also kind of ham-fistedly anti-communist, maybe. Everyone's literally merging into a big blob. That's what's happening with the baddies. And I don't really know where that narrative's going, so I got nervous about talking about that. It's also kind of about the pandemic. There's like a foreign virus that's happening and things. Anyway, there's a lot of going on there for me, so I didn't really know.
I mean, that's their thing. They did the medium. A lot of was going on with that shit. So
yeah, so I'm gonna finish it, and then I'll know the answers to those things eventually. But another thing that happens weird. Basically there's a colony. Everyone's infected with something. Basically, everyone's a zombie now. Everything's super Polish. Like, you have to walk up to signs and get a subtitle underneath them. There's some time manipulation stuff. So as far as I got, which was like 5 or 6 hours, you're mostly just like repairing bridges, but there's like you have to go over here and do it, and then you have to go down here and do it, or whatever. The big issue with it is a survival horror-ish shooter thing, and enemies are very hard to kill versus the resources that you get. Especially earlier on when you aren't really used to it. It took me like 7 shots to kill an enemy, and then it took me 10 minutes to get that many shots back.
Oh, jeez.
And they're really, really stingy with it, and it's not a scenario where you can avoid them. You have to kill them. You're in a spot and you have to kill them all, and if you don't, then you get like spawned back to yeah. So like if it were a Resident Evil style, I can kill some of these guys and move along. That's where you put that kind of hardcore inventory management stuff. But in something where it's like, no, kill all of these, and it's like I have 1 shot left until I can get to, I know some people like that kind of tension, and so it could be good, but it also could have easily gone to where like I don't have enough shots to kill these people and I'm going to die, and where am I going to get more? The resources to make additional shots are also scarce. So that's weird to me. I think they're doing, I read that they were doing like a Silent Hill F style difficulty patch to make some of that easier. So that's another reason I stopped. I was like, I'm going to wait for that, because I'm going to enjoy myself a lot more if I'm not micromanaging. But I love looking at it, and I like being in that Eastern European sci-fi world. Weird sci-fi Krakow. Pretty cool. That's that.
Cool.
Next one, also almost made the list. I assume nobody else played that, right?
I have. I didn't even hear. Okay. I hadn't heard about it.
Okay. Yeah, it went a little under the radar, I think. Next one, Absolum. This is...
I forgot about that. I would have put that on my list. I did play that this year. That's a great game.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really nice art. You can ride a big pig. The upgrades all feel useful. Yeah. Action is very good. It's interesting because it's Guard Crush or whatever they're called, who also did the Streets of Rage 4 battle system, which I did not really like, but I actually really like how they did it here. And I don't know if I changed or they did. I don't know what happened there, but I like it. And the run-based nature, so it's a run-based beat 'em up. And to me, the run-based nature of it is actually pretty decent, because you're always just getting stronger. You don't lose anything except for like specific character build style skill upgrades, which are fun to get, but not actually incredibly critical to you. Apparently you get the really cool powers later. I didn't make it that far, but I wanted to get to where I heard about you can be like a necromancer and you like raise a bunch of skeletons to come fight with you and stuff. I didn't get that.
How far did you get?
I got like 5-6 hours in. I got
How many characters did you unlock?
I only had 3. I unlocked the first unlockable character. And that's how far I got. But I liked how all the characters played differently. I felt like it gave me upgrades at a good clip. I liked stacking them to where it's, like my sword does fire damage, and now my fire damage does more, and now I leave a fire trail, or I could be like, I can put some ice stuff in there also. And each character has an affinity for certain kinds of things, and they'll like make a little comment to you about like, I'm trying something new or whatever. I don't know. I just thought kind of like Shinobi, it was just a good video game to play. Like if you want to sit down and have a video game, playing a video game time, this will do it for you. You'll be in there, you'll be playing a video game, you'll be having a good time.
For all the gamers out there who enjoy games.
Yeah, for anyone who likes video games, try that one.
This is a good game if you want to play something with a friend and you don't want to play something that will make you kill your friend. I played this with my husband, and this is like one of the rare games that we could play together and actually have a good time with it. How
many did you unlock?
Time. We unlocked all 4 of them. So I got the frog and Cider, the little mechanical doll thing. I
got Cider.
Think they are the best one, Cider. That was my favorite character.
I really like the witch. I thought the witch was good. The witch was with the silver hair.
The frog?
The silver hair.
Oh no, that's not a witch. That's like she's a big sword lady.
Yeah, I don't know. I was getting,
witches can have swords, Ash.
That's
it's
true.
2025.
She's a witcher. She's a witcher, is what she is.
Okay, witcher. Okay, that I will. That makes more sense. Yes.
Yeah.
I liked this game. This was a lot of fun. This is a great like co-op game to play with your partner. It's really good.
And I am very often annoyed when I have to go back through a whole series of levels to do stuff like in roguelikes and stuff. And I just didn't mind it in this game.
And I think
didn't mind
because
going back through.
It has, branching paths with each.
Branching paths.
Yeah, makes
it's
that
fun
a
to
little
hit the
bit
buttons.
better.
Like it's never annoying to be. You never see a bunch of new enemies and you're like, more of this. It's fun to hit the buttons.
This is good. I like.
Yeah, that's really all you
like
can
this
ask
game.
for.
Yeah,
is having a good time hitting the buttons.
Good time hitting the buttons.
Esper, you and Rippy, I think, would have a good time with this. This is a good co-op. This is an excellent co-op game.
Yeah, give this one.
Play this not by yourself. Play this with a friend.
Give this one a try. And even by yourself, it's still fun. I can attest.
It is still fun by yourself, but I think it is better when you are playing with someone else.
I can 100% imagine that.
Understood.
Esper's turn.
On the subject of co-op friend slop, this will be a quick one. This game is Monster Prom 4 Monster Con, and I would not even have known this existed, except that my friend Leah had me on her stream and was like, hey, we're going to play this game. I'll send you a Steam code for it. I was like, all right, fine. And I was actually pretty charmed by it. It is, I would describe it almost like a co-op visual novel where you are having these romance, whatever, conversations with wacky, zany characters who are all based on monsters and stuff. Given the 4 in the title, I imagine this is a long-running series.
So I knew about Monster Prom, but I did not know about 2 through 4.
Apparently, yeah. This is Monster Con,
so good for
and
them.
It's set in like a convention, an anime convention, and it's clearly the developers like riffing on experiences they've had or playing up funny things these characters would do at like in front of cosplayers or, stuff like that. And then at the end, there's like lunch tables you sit at next to people and you're obtaining stats and stuff as you have these conversations and picking options and seeing how they play out and everything. And we just played online together. It was a cool time.
How does the co-op work?
So we're taking turns and it'll be like, okay, so if you go to this area, you can talk to these 3 characters, or if you go over here, you can talk to them. And so I would be like, oh, I'm going to go talk to this guy. And then the other 2 characters in that area would also be in the conversation and you would get like affinity points with them. And then sort of at the end, it's less co-op, more, I guess, 1v1, but at the end, there's like lunch tables where everyone's sitting, and I sat next to a character that Leah wanted, and I totally just sniped that out from under her, and it was a great stream moment, and it was
That's fun.
Not even my intention, but it was a fun thing to do. Cute game to play with friends. I think the designs are all cool. The writing is a little, you're either going to like it or you're not. It might be obnoxious. It might be silly and fun. I had a good time. That's really all I know about.
That looks cute.
Yeah,
I like that.
It is cute.
Okay. Two more
Elida,
from me.
I'm adding one more game, so I have.
Uh-oh.
I have two more games.
You have two
not
more?
one more game.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm going to go back down to doing one at a time. All right. This will be quick, though, because I've already talked about it. Dreams of Another. This is a game directed by Bion of Pixel Junk in Japan. I don't know if it's the first game he's directed 100% himself, but it's, as I described it before, it is the most PlayStation 3 video game that I have ever encountered. It would have gotten an IGF award in 2013 or whatever. It's PS3 specifically because it's like tech demo visuals, like some kind of interesting trick
With guns.
with a high concept. And the guns, they don't kill things; they coalesce the environment. You shoot the environment, and it brings it into reality. It brings it into focus.
Wow.
It turns from circles into squares.
Like a paintball type thing, almost.
Almost, except so everything's vague, and you shoot it, and then it becomes solid and
Gotcha.
real. So it's not like Unfinished Swan where you're like shooting around at blankness and then you can
that's
see
what
the
I was
things.
thinking of.
This is more like there's a bunch of blurry stuff, and you shoot it, and then it becomes stuff you can see.
This reminds me of Viewfinder, and I'm sad I wasn't on the Insert Credit podcast to talk about Viewfinder because that was a great game. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
One of our producer worked on that.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really high concept. There's a lot of like talking at you about stuff. And I think I used this example before, but it's just really funny. Like there's the you shoot like things and they come into existence and then they talk to you because like everything has a soul in this game. And so like a map will say to you, people check maps when they're lost. So do we maps check ourselves when we're lost? There's a lot of there's a lot of like ooh, I can see my
PS3 game.
I can see my hand when you're high on weed type of like not reality, but that vibe of that. You're always holding the trigger to shoot, which was really tiring for me. So I actually did a rubber band trick and just hold, because especially on the PS5, like holding that thing down, it's there's resistance on it, so it's like okay.
Jeez.
It's structurally very odd because it like you'll do a sequence and then it'll kick you back to the main menu and it's like, is it good that happened? Did I mess up? I'm not really sure. But then you go back into the narrative and it completes. It continues. I think it's really neat, and I think that people should play it because it's just neat and weird. It really like would have done well. It would have been a game that people would have really cared about if it were 15 years ago. Unfortunately, it isn't, and I think it's gone completely under the radar as a result. I think that if we still had like if we had the video game Illuminati like they thought we had back in the day, all the people getting together and being like, "Oh,
what
this
you
game
mean?
is cool."
All of the fucking Koch brothers funded DEI stuff? Is that what you mean?
I mean, like if that were real, no, no, it's just an interesting, weird game. I would love for making this sort of game to be something that's rewarded. It is unfortunately presently not, because we don't have people to talk about this kind of game. But it's also like not as deep as it thinks it is. But that made it appeal to me more. It was like, that was kind of a, it was charming. I was charmed by the game the whole way through. So
it's fun when someone has a big idea for the first time that you've had years ago, and you can be like, "Yeah, think about that." Yeah,
it's good. Okay, Esper, right?
I think Ash, right?
Oh,
Is
Ash. Yeah, it's Ash.
Okay. I'm gonna do my second to last game real quick to make this short. Date Everything.
Yeah, I remember this.
Gotta play. I forgot that I played this game. The way that I went through this is I went through all of my stuff at theverge.com to see what I've played, and I didn't know that this was not on that list. Did I not write about Date Everything? I don't remember.
You should, for the future, you should go through like your Steam, go through your Steam and your console stuff and sort by date, and then you can really know what you played.
Yeah, that's a good thing to think about too. But yeah, Date Everything. We have to have a dating sim on the list if I'm going to be on the show. Date Everything is a really cool. I think I appreciate this game not necessarily because of the quirkiness of the concept, but because this is a game that is made by a bunch of voice actors. Like, so Sassy Chap Games are the people who developed this game. It was started by, I'm pretty sure, the guy who voiced Noctis in Final Fantasy 15. He decided he wanted to make a game. He got all of his friends, literally all of his friends, like Ben Starr is in this game, Neil Newbond is in this game, a bunch of people that you have never heard of, but you have heard their voice is in this game. Playing all kinds of, do you know what a Gajinka is?
I do, yes.
No.
So a Gajinka is like a personification of like a concept. So a Gajinka is like, the personification of Windows 98. So imagine like a mascot for Windows 98.
OS 10, as we called them back then.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. As for you and I, we understand.
Hyperdimension Neptunia is all that. It's the personified consoles and stuff.
Yeah, so basically the premise of the game is that you were hired for this like tech firm, but you were immediately laid off. You were sent these like glasses that if you look through them, you can make the objects in your house real. And so it basically is essentially a dating sim. Like you're laid off, but it's a dating sim where you get to date the objects in your house and you can bring them to life, and it's all different kinds of things. So not only is it like your refrigerator or your bed, it's things like dust bunnies, it's your curtains. They all have these different kinds of personalities. They're really cool. I really enjoy finding a new character and seeing how the artists weaved the design of the object into the actual person. Like for example, like the bed girl, the woman who turns into your bed. Have you ever had a platform bed with those like cheap slats? Like those like wooden slats that you hook into? Yeah, like that's like a bodice of her like corset. And then the dress of her gown is like this big puffy comforter. That kind of I love that shit. I eat that shit up for breakfast. Like using those little quirky design elements of like a physical object and to bring it like remember Beauty and the Beast? Like those kinds of things, like that kind of shit, like that kind of design of like all of the characters in Beauty and the Beast, like Lumiere and Cogsworth, all that kind of stuff. Mrs. Potts, that shit, love it. Great stuff.
And
it's
Chip.
Chip. It's an interesting also like examination of like the video game industry, because this is made by a bunch of voice actors who know all of the things that game developers know in different ways. A critique of like capitalism, those kinds of things. It's really fun. It's funny. It's a fun little dating sim. It's a great way to spend time with like your favorite people whose voices that you know.
Well, the thing I remember the discourse being was, how much is this game going, haha, what a wacky dating sim? Like, is it making fun of the genre?
No. Okay, so I know what you're talking about. And there's this thing with Western dating sims where they look at stuff like Hatoful Boyfriend and like, okay, I can be quirky too, not realizing that, the things that they're talking about in Hatoful Boyfriend are very serious and very like, I don't know. Yes, it's a dating sim about pigeons, but also there's some other things going on there. And I appreciate that this is an attempt to do that from the Western lens without making fun or denigrating the art of the dating sim, if that makes sense.
It does.
I liked it. It's fun.
Hatoful Boyfriend is I thought that was a Western game too.
Was that Western?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Really? That is news to me. But yeah, like there's this idea that people in the West don't take dating sims seriously, or they think it's just like, oh, we're going to do something wacky, quirky because of those weird ass fujosis or whatever. Not understanding that this is a very serious genre that can be taken seriously, and it's not all about like weirdo shit, like those weird girls with their romance stuff and whatever.
For girls and perverts.
Exactly. It has elements of that, but I think it treats it a little bit more seriously than other Western dating sim treatments.
Interesting.
I think maybe for Hatoful Boyfriend, the original was by a Japanese manga artist, and then the the version that we all played was made by a Western team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which was a good game.
And a good pun, in my opinion, because Hato means pigeon. Kingdoms of the Dump. I talked about this one already a little bit. It's got a lot of light little garbage puns. They're not great. It's got a lot of clipping problems and moving feels weird and stuff, but a lot of heart, you can feel that they made what they wanted to make. I think it's really earnest, incredibly earnest. It's very charming. It has some light platforming, or actually some fiddly platforming sometimes too. You can time your attacks and defense like that Mario and Luigi RPG. So there's that kind of having to pay attention a little bit. You can move your characters around a little bit in battle as well.
This is really cute.
It's overall just really nice. It's made by 2 real-life janitors as well, which was one of the key.
It's a good angle.
Marketing, a good angle.
It is a good angle.
Sure.
That is a fan-fucking-tastic angle. I love it already.
Basically, if you like Super Nintendo games, Super Nintendo RPGs, you're gonna like it. It's very smooth to play if you are familiar with that scenario. If that appeals to you at all, you will just be able to play through it pretty much. It does some cute things. It's got some nice stuff to it. It's pretty nice. I think it's good to play. Oh, the music is very Super Nintendo. It's like legit Super Nintendo stuff. It's done by the blank on their first name right now, but Cage, who did those last 3DS games like Fragrant Story stuff. William Cage, I think.
This isn't a bundle with your game. Is that on purpose?
It isn't a bundle with my game.
Okay.
Yeah. We came out around the same time. Birdcage also is, which I mentioned earlier. We did a bundle called November Rain because we all came
saw
out
that, yeah.
Within a few days of each other in November. So I actually do fully. If you like any of that kind of stuff, I think you're gonna like it. It's and the heart is really in there. So.
And if anybody wants to send me 10 minutes of gameplay footage of it, I'll use it in the video this week. There's nothing out there. They have one trailer.
Oh, man.
So that is going to bring me to my final game, which is my game of the year. I've talked about this a lot on Blue Sky. I am writing an absurd and lengthy, 4,000 or 5,000 word piece on this game just because I like it so much.
Where are you going to put that?
Called good question. I haven't figured that out yet.
Have you heard of this website called Insert Credit? You can put it on there.
I've heard of that. I don't know.
Put it on there.
Talk to the guy. We'll see. We'll see.
Right. We'll see how that
goes. I would love that. This game is called Blippo Plus, and it's the most fun I've ever had with a video game. Full stop. End of sentence. Me and my partner Rippy, we would start watching a block of Blippo Plus programming, which I'll explain in a moment, at around midnight, and we would stay up until 4 every night, stoned, laughing, piecing things together. I can and will go on about this game. I'll go through the whole thing. It was launched in 2024 as a Playdate game. It's totally FMV. It's 1-minute TV shows that all play on a channel, and each channel has 5 to 10. And so you can watch an entire channel that'll just start looping after about 5 or 10 minutes. And the way that it was distributed on Playdate was every week they would put out another 10 minutes per channel and loop through those.
Almost like a season or something.
Exactly. And the whole thing is designed with this narrative framing device of this is a streaming service from a different universe that has discovered how to start broadcasting to our planet. And I used to work at a PBS station. I've worked in public media. It's so me targeted specifically It's very new wave in its vibes. It's not dystopian in any way. Like the world of Blippo that you slowly uncover through the television programming is weird and interesting, and the society is structured very strangely, but it's not dystopic. Nobody seems to be suffering. There's no real villains. There's conflict.
But what do you do?
So what you do is you watch. And on the play date, all you would do is just watch and flip through the channels and wait for the next week. But now that it's on Steam and everything, it's in color, and you watch about 10 minutes and it'll unlock a new data packet. All the terminology in the game is very funny and very good. And as soon as you get that, you can just load up the next 10 minutes. And there's, I think, 10 packets in the whole thing. We got through it of like 3 hours a night for a week, and it changed the way that we talk to each other. We have favorite characters. There are like every production is bare bones and looks like, Bob Ross standing in front of the black curtain, but is just like absurd and weird and hilarious. There's a show on there called The Exquisite Telethon, which is a poem that just incorporates randomly selected words, and a line is added to the poem every episode. And they repeat last week's line, they put in the new line, and the idea is this is one poem that has been going for however many years this show has been on in universe. And there's just 30, 40, 50 shows like this. Imagine 30 to 40 podcasts that you can just chew through a minute at a time. And it's easy to argue this isn't a video game. The developers have kind of said, we'll get out ahead of saying, yeah, it's not a video game, whatever. That's fine if you want to say that. To me, it's my favorite video game.
But do you play it? You just watch it.
Well, you sort of unlock things, but it's
you
more,
unlock
it's
things,
more watching.
and you're not
and
like
it is an experience.
Making decisions or anything, but you are piecing together, not through. You don't like unlock bonuses.
The gameplay is in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. All the playing's in here.
Okay,
it's a lot.
That makes Putting it like that makes it a lot, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, this looks like performance art. This doesn't look like a game.
It's very much
playing
performance
the
art.
game in your mind, I can understand it now.
Yeah, the game is you are piecing together, this character who posted on the in-game message boards is this character from the show for teens. And now you can be like, okay, if they posted that here, that means while they were doing this last week, they were thinking about this character that they have a crush on and stuff like that. And then once you get to the end of it, there's a mystery that sort of plays out a little bit over the course of things. It is narrative. Some shows kind of are more participatory in the narrative than others, like news programs obviously are going to be saying a lot of updates, whereas things like kids' cartoons are not. But there's so many beautiful little touches. You can tell so much of it was made on original hardware. Like the video artifacting is all genuine and real, and the concepts for these shows are all strange. The music is incredible. It's mostly done by a band called Yacht, who has done a lot of other interesting sort of video game and interactive art before. Telefantasy Studios, I ended up DMing the head of production on this, Jennifer Juniper Stratford, or Jupiter Stratford, JJ Stratford. Sorry if I got your name wrong. She was cool as hell. So many throwaway gags have just become embedded in my vocabulary. I'm going to be thinking about this game for the rest of my life. Check it out, man. It's not for everybody. Not everyone's going to like it. But it hit just dead center on my heart. It's in my best of list of all time, no question.
For as much as I've seen people talk about Blippo Plus, and it's been a lot of people in my very close orbit, I am genuinely surprised it has as few Steam reviews as it does. because I feel like Blippo Plus is one game that literally everybody I know online has been talking about. So
that's because the people you know have good taste, and the people broadly do not. So
yeah, that's very true.
My feeling with Blippo Plus is it's so easily could have fallen flat or been cringy or like
it could have been not funny. It could have been executed poorly. It could have been unintuitive. There's so many things that could have failed.
It could have been bad theater kid instead of good theater kid.
Totally.
And that really surprised me. And then the other thing that really
Panic is fucking. They do the hits.
I never thought. I think about Max Headroom.
Yes,
a lot because that was like a weird guerrilla art performance television thing, and I think about that, and I learned about it in film school. I had seen it before I learned about it in film school.
Yeah.
One of the prevailing thoughts I had about Max Headroom is you can never do anything like that again. And Blippo Plus is almost something like that. It's not like interrupting your feed or anything.
That edge to it necessarily that Max Headroom has. It was more cyberpunky.
But it has a different edge. It reminds me of. Have you seen this queer performance video art piece called "Where's the Pickle"?
No.
Well, it's great. I'll send it to you, and you'll probably like it. It's like a several minute long thing of a bunch of drag queens and others talking about how to make a sandwich. With all these extravagant costumes and all these like really affected demeanors and strange things, but it comes together so well because it feels like everyone's living in that universe, and I felt so. To me, Blippo Plus was like in between this art film, this art experience that I liked, and this other art experience that I liked, but it wound up being like kind of better than both, and it could have gone so wrong, and like.
Every actor like fully gets it. They understand the vibe. They understand their character. There's no like even the winking irony is handled with like an earnestness of like we live in this universe.
It's really an impossible task to achieve, and I was marveling at that primarily. I was so impressed with not hating it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Because
it would have been so easy to just be like, that's not how this would be. But like every part, the interface really does feel like a 2002 cable box, like with the weird scrolling programming guide and AOL style email and message
it's
boards.
really good.
I wonder if you can still play this game on the Playdate, and I wonder how different the experience is.
Well, so from what I can tell, I don't have a Playdate, but it is a different experience.
Well, I didn't play Blippo Plus. I only had the Playdate experience. I saw some video of Blippo Plus, and I was like, I'm going to get to it later. But I played it. I interacted with it on the Playdate, and I think you do miss a little something by not doing it collectively with everyone. But not everyone did it anyways. It doesn't really matter.
Sure.
Collectively with everyone. What do you mean?
Just like everyone gets the download at the same time, and now it's new as it's coming out. But that's shows. And you can definitely have the experience on your own, just unlocking it at your pace and that sort of stuff. Anyway, I agree. It rules. That's really cool.
I've found one YouTube video that uploads like the first data packet, basically. I will put that in the show notes. Just check it out. And if you want the rest, like go get this game, man. Talk to me about it. I will have a conversation with you.
Okay. I guess, is this my last one?
Doesn't have to be.
We'll see. Ash, is your last one Claire Obscure? So finally we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that last, and first we'll talk about Zenshin Machine Girls, which I think long time insert credit fans would have expected me to put this on my game of the year already. Zenshin Machine Girls is a D3 publisher game, very simple series style.
I saw this. Okay, yeah.
You are robot ladies, robot high school girls.
Is it also called Full Metal Machine Girl?
Oh, it is also called Full Metal Machine Girl. That is correct, yes. That's the American title that I keep forgetting because I wanted a physical copy, so I bought the Japanese game, which means I don't get all the cool DLC, which sucks for me. Owned. I always forget about that on PS5 you can't like buy DLC from another region on your thing. Anyway, so this is your high school robots. You're going into a big tower of working people, and it's like they're exploiting these android wage slaves, but also you're killing all of them. So what's going on with that? I'm not really sure what the deal is there. You're on a mission of revenge for your parents or something. I forget. It's got a lot of it's got a lot of regressive nonsense. There's a sequence every floor where you go up the stairs and the underage robot has to hide her underwear skirt and there's like she's like, you're live streaming in the fiction of this, she's live streaming, and like the chat is sometimes commenting about her underwear or whatever. It's just like, man, come on, don't do that. That's so stupid.
Very funny.
Yeah, the collision detection can be a little spotty with explosive weapons and stuff. Oh yeah, you're blowing stuff up. That's what you're doing in this game. You're blowing everything up. There's some platforming. It's a roguelike. That's where they went wrong. It's a roguelike where like you're supposed to get to, there's 100 floors. And once you get to floor 10 and 20 and I think I don't remember exactly what floors, but once you get to certain floors, you get a key to take the elevator back up to that floor and start from there. But then if you die, you lose that, and then you have to start all the way back at zero again. And so you're just running through samey rooms, shooting the same guys. It's one of those games where it's different every time. Effectively means it's the same every time. Like you're upgrading kind of the same ways. You start winding up liking the same weapons, and it's like, why can't I just keep this one? Just let me use this one. But I did play it for like 10 hours because it's that PS2 brain. If you got if you like doing something stupid on the PS2, this is probably the video game for that. It's really just blowing stuff up, hitting crates for money in empty rooms.
Perfect.
It's just stupid, but it's a game that people that listen to this would probably you should at least know about it. So there
Check it out.
Oh, and also someone who I think I mentioned this, but someone who was on the show, we interviewed her briefly as a translator. Cheryl Ng is one of the voices they had in English. They had her be. It's very weird because she's this very demure, small, Genki kind of lady from Singapore, and they had her be the like erotic Onesan character, which is like the most. She's like, "Are you sure?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I'll do my best." And so she has to like lower her voice. It's really, but she does a good job. She does a good job. So anyway, that's that game. There it is. So I guess we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah.
With
is it my turn or no?
Your turn.
It's my turn.
Your turn for Claire Obscure.
We're gonna. Thanks for
now. What is that?
It.
Yeah. What is that?
It's Expedition 33. It's a bunch of French people decided that they wanted to get together and make a JRPG.
Yeah, they make the JRPG.
And I need to play the first 32 first?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say that one of my best Blue Sky posts of last year was going through all the different ways you can make a French JRPG. And Je suis Gaiden was a bit of inspired.
Je suis Gaiden, yeah. That's pretty
good. It was a bit of inspired French wordplay there. So quite proud of that.
I like that.
Yeah, man, like I was already intrigued when I first heard about Expedition 33 because I was really impressed by the fact that these developers that I had not heard before, it was Sandfall Interactive, managed to get Charlie Cox and fucking, what's the guy's, who is,
Ben Starr's in
Andy
it.
Serkis. Andy
sure.
Serkis is in it. Yeah, Andy, like Ben Starr is whatever. He'll fucking show up for you if he likes your project. But
This stuff
Andy
is always
Serkis
so
and
funny
Charlie
to me.
Cox?
It's very funny to me because like the reason I have no idea who these people are is when I'm playing a Japanese game, I switch it to Japanese. This game, I didn't hear it. I heard one English line because they made an error. I switched it to French immediately.
Did you play this in French?
Immediately, I played it in French. Yeah, it's a French game.
You're Very correct. Very correct.
I haven't played it. I was on another podcast and we collectively decided that the new line for whether or not a game is an indie game is whether or not you can get Ben Starr in your game.
Wait, so if Ben Starr is in your game, is it an indie game or not?
It is no longer an indie game. You are not an indie game anymore if Ben Starr is in your game.
I don't think that's true because Ben Starr is... No, but seriously, Ben Starr is a true believer. Like, he is a true believer in video games. He will show up no matter what. I'm sure he doesn't
work for indie game money.
Maybe not, but more than you probably think because he was in Date Everything.
Brandon, you think you could have got Matt Mercer or any other top level voice talent?
Matt Mercer is not Ben Starr, though.
I could not have.
Okay, well,
maybe if we were best buddies.
They're all the same white guy to me. I'm sorry to have to tell you. Troy Baker.
You're absolutely, 100%. Like, you're correct. I have spoken to Ben Starr, at length more than once. He is a true believer in video games. Like, he will fucking show up. Like, doesn't matter
Obscure,
what it
sorry,
is.
I derailed this.
Sorry. Claire Obscure is a bunch of French people decided... they decided to get together and like, you know what? We should rehabilitate the image of the JRPG in the West, and they did that. No, that's not what happened. It also was not made. No, it was not made by 30 people. Thank you. What's his name? We won't talk about him. It's I really appreciate that this game was made. I really appreciate that these people decided that this is what we're going to do. This is the kinds of games that we like. We're going to make this game for 2025. And they did the fuck out of that shit. Persona is one of those games that I feel has updated the JRPG for the modern era. And I think Claire Obscure is just a continuation of that. It's a continuation of the Persona formula to really innovate in what a JRPG means, because there was a lot of fucking discourse about JRPG and what that means versus a regular RPG and a CRPG and all that, this, that, and the other. I don't want to touch on that discourse. I find that shit exhausting. And a lot of that has to do with how us in the West, G4, talked about those kinds of games. But they did a fantastic job taking the things that they loved in their youth and updating them for a new era. They did that shit in spades. The parry system was great. The dodge system was great. The Picto system, where you had you augmented your characters with the kinds of things that they could do, fantastic. The difficulty level, fantastic. The narrative, fantastic. Everything about this project was firing on all cylinders. I think one thing, and I don't know how you feel about this, Brandon, because you're the one who actually makes the games. But being a video game journalist for as long as I have come to understand that video game development is miraculous. It is a miraculous feat. No matter if you're making things like whatever, all the way up to Call of Duty, the fact that you can make a video game and publish it, that it exists, a video game exists, is a miraculous thing. It just is. And the fact that Claire Obscure exists in that kind of outdated formula of JRPG, that wow. It's arresting the way that game was made, the love letter that it was, the way that it resonated with people and became the popular hit that it deserved to be. Phenomenal shit. It is the reason I get up in the morning. That kind of game. That kind of ethos, that kind of vision, that kind of execution, that kind of respect that it got from his peers, that entire revolution of making the game to how people responded to it winning Game of the Year in 2025, that entire cycle is literally why I get up in the morning. That's perfect shit. I want that all of the time. I want to experience that all of the time. I don't know what else you can say.
It's for me, the thing that I was most impressed by, as development wise, is how smartly scoped it was, because it felt really large, but
it wasn't.
It wasn't. All the boundaries were very much in place, and they did a really, really good job of hiding it and hiding the scope and focusing on it for themselves, hiding it for the player and focusing on it for themselves, so that each area felt cool and big enough and weird and interesting to look at, but they were all pretty small. You couldn't really get out. You couldn't go that many places. And the scale of it and what they wanted to focus on, it was very focused. And so everything that you want to experience is there for you. And all the extra weirdness is kind of cut. I mean, there's some extra weirdness, like all the optional, like, weird water in the volleyball in the water and jumping on weird platforms where you fall off, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, the beach episode,
all the
fan
beach
service
stuff,
episodes.
is they didn't need it, but it's there. So there's some fluffy stuff in there, and that's cool. And the towns felt big, but they weren't that big. It was all just very, very smartly scoped. I loved the intro and how French it was, and how much you learned about the characters with very little dialogue. The story going forward, unfortunately, actually lost me. I lost interest in where it was going.
Just like a JRPG.
Yeah,
because that shit starts to not matter anymore after a certain point.
It's swirled away from it. I think my biggest issue was the density of, or the complexity of the system. Like the Picto stuff, I didn't like how fiddly that was. That was too much like, take this off and put that thing back on, so then you can keep these ones, but then you can learn these new ones. And I didn't really like that. And also the depth of the battle system, where it's like, if you attack them with this thing, then it paints that on them, and then later, if you do this other thing, that was not well tutorialized. And so by the time I needed to know about it, I was like, I don't know about this. I'm sorry. I've been hitting buttons. I've been doing the 5 things I understand how to do. But when you want me to actually know that, like, you've got like the spring icon and the summer icon or whatever, and then they're all going to do a thing, I'm not going to know about that. You don't really have to, but I started to feel that they wanted me to, but I hadn't really gotten all of that information for myself. That's just obviously for everybody else it worked, because it was like super huge. And I think it was a really good game, and I respect it a lot. It just, those parts lost me. And I also thought it was incredibly funny how the main guy that you start as, trying not to be too spoilery, the main guy that you start as, there is one line of his that they didn't record in French. And it's like the whatever the version of "So Say We All" or whatever that they do at the end of every camp scene. So I heard that in English. That's the only thing I heard in English in the whole time, because they didn't translate that into French for some reason. It's also a shame that despite being a French game, all the mouth flaps are synced just to English, so that you can't just be French. But and also, like, why are all the girls so skinny and tiny? It was a little weird to me. They're all just so squished in. They're just really zoop. But whatever. Everybody's got their thing that they like. But yeah, it's a good game. Nobody needs to hear me say it. Everybody already knows.
We legally have to call it our game of the year. No, I didn't play this game. Are you kidding me? I feel bad because it came out middle of the year. I was in a 3-month panic attack because I was moving from Washington to Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
And patron and dear friend of mine, Will Rohr, bought me this game so I could play it on the plane, and I never touched it. I'm so sorry, Will. I will send you $30.
No, what you have to do is you have to play the game.
I don't want to play this game anymore. Everybody likes this game. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's really great. Like, I've played other JRPGs. I don't need a game to tell me how good JRPGs are.
Okay, here's what I would say. I think it's absolutely worth playing the intro because of how it deals with and I really haven't seen that many people talk about this. Not that I'm reading all the stories about Expedition 33.
There's a lot of them.
But the initial thing is you've got this guy, and he has to go talk to his ex-girlfriend before she disappears. And there's a lot, and they haven't really talked in 10 years, and they both have kind of unrequited feelings. And it really has a good sense of A, French romance, and B, what it's like to meet your ex after 10 years and have that kind of familiarity but awkwardness, and like, I know you, but do I really anymore? I don't really know, but we're still connected on this some level. I think that's really neat. So just, play the first 30 minutes.
I will. I will give it that much because I haven't heard anybody say anything about the story. All I hear is people talking about the parry system, people talking about JRPGs, people talking about it as an indie game, people talking about the voice acting, people talking about the graphics. And like, I don't know, man. I do know like the big hook. I know why it is called Expedition 33, for example.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of cool that not to spoil anything, these guys might not be the coolest badasses to ever live. They might all fuck up and die at the end of this. And they kind of go into it knowing that, is my understanding.
Yeah. Well, I think what's cool about it is how it's revealed it to you in such a non-expository way. The things you're supposed to do and the way that these characters feel about each other is revealed to you in such a natural, human feeling way. That's what really I was jealous of how this game started because of that, because it just felt like natural conversations that taught you terms you'd never heard of, which is cool. So yeah, that's
okay.
That's my big recommendation to you to play. You don't have to finish it or anything.
I'll try it. I will give it 2-3 hours.
The last thing I'll say about Clair Obscur is the fact that it is very unapologetically French. There's this thing that I think AAA video games have is where they try their damnedest to be broadly appealing to everyone. They try to make sure that everyone has something for them in a game. I don't think you fucking need to do that. And the Clair Obscur people were like, fuck you, fuck this, fuck everybody. We're going to make this shit French as motherfuck. Like, I love French people, I think. I don't really know much about them other than that they really like baguette.
There's some cool ones.
I know that there's cool French folk. I think I know a couple of them directly. But like the fact that this is so bleedingly French, like so unapologetically French, like, nope, we're gonna ram the fucking baguette and the striped shirts and the fucking berets down your goddamn throat and you're gonna fucking like it. That unapologetic vision that they had for this game that I have to assume that they knew that not everybody would vibe with, but they went for it anyway. Knowing that it could be potentially detrimental to the game I appreciate the kind of balls that it takes to do that, especially in 2024 and 5 and 6, where we have this like reactionary movement where it's like, you must pander to the median gamer, which is like this white dude who loves tits. And they didn't do that shit. Like they did that in little ways, but they didn't really do that shit. And
can I ask? I haven't seen any in any of the video I've seen. Does this game have non-white characters?
No.
Okay.
Well, you can make an argument that what are they called? The gish, the people with the fancy hair, the
floaty lady. She's an Asian lady.
Okay.
The one who floats. She is. I'm pretty sure. Let's look it up.
I didn't clock it. It wasn't clockable. And if you really wanted to make video game people who are making video games, if you want to make someone like who is, of a specific like race or ethnicity, you can't be subtle about it. You got to be obvious, please. And if Lune, I know who you're talking about. If Lune is supposed to be Asian, I could see it, but I don't clock it.
Like her face is basically modeled after Fei Wong. So I'm like 90% sure.
Okay.
Not super relevant, just a question I thought was worth asking.
Yeah. But still, the fact that they were so uncompromising about that, and the fact that that element of the game is as much a character as the characters themselves, and Clair Obscur would not be Clair Obscur if it wasn't so bleedingly French. And because they decided to go with that and stick with that and not water that down to be broadly appealing, made it a stronger game. Everybody needs to take that lesson from it. Everybody who's making a game within the sound of my voice, take that lesson. Do not make your
game French.
Just
make your
it
game
French,
but also make your game for you. I don't give a shit about the people who may play this game and they're like, I don't get what this is. Don't care about them. care about the people who you are making it for, who will understand it, and you will not go wrong. You won't go wrong. I appreciate that uncompromising vision that they had for it, and it made it a better, special game. That's just what it is. Yeah.
Game of the year 2025.
I don't know that it's rare that, whatever game wins game of the year is actually the game that deserves it. There's been a couple of times where that has not been the case. I'm looking at you. It fucking takes two. But Clair Obscur is absolutely one of those things where we got it right and won.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it wouldn't be my game of the year, and obviously it wasn't any of ours because it isn't on our list. But I agree that it warranted a lot of the accolades. I get a little tired of it, but it's still...
It's French. It's exhausting.
I'm tired of hearing about this game.
I mean, sitting through award shows and watching them win them all, it's like, all right, okay. But, it's fine. They win. Good for them.
Congratulations,
you won. Okay, so that's the end. We've talked about all the games we played in 2025. It only took us 4 hours.
I know that we're here long, and I know we want to leave, but I do want to ask...
This will only take another hour.
No, it won't. I want to ask a question. Based on all of the games that we have talked about with each other, which ones are you actually going to play? Because I have several. Am I the only one?
From this talk?
Yes.
A bunches.
I'm going to finish the ones that I was playing that I'm going to finish are Cronos, Absolum, Kingdoms of the Dump, and...
No. I mean, did I say anything that makes you want to play the game?
Run through your games again real quick. Give me the list.
I have Clair Obscur, I have Super Robot Wars Y, I have Donkey Kong Bonanza, I have Date Everything, I have Age of Imprisonment, Tactics, Spirit Swap, Last Defense Academy, Ball Pit. Most of those you've played, but I know from...
I'll probably check out Spirit Swap.
There wasn't anything I hadn't heard of, but I am interested in Ball X Pit, and I am interested in Spirit Swap, so I may play those based on having the conversation about them.
I'll definitely play Clair Obscur. I'll give it its shot. I'll play the trashy PS2 Schoolgirl game. I might check out Kingdoms of the Dump. That game looked cool. There's a handful of these.
I'm definitely going to play Squeakross.
Oh,
I'm probably going to download that immediately once we're done here.
Yeah.
I'm also going to play The Dark Queen of Mortholme.
I'll check that out.
Shujinkou. That was cool.
Shujinkou, yeah.
I'm interested in Advent Neon to see if I can clock what you clock, Brandon.
Yeah.
And Blippo Plus, because I've heard so many people talk about it.
Yeah,
so those are the games that I'm going to play.
favorite game, and it would mean a lot to me if you just watched even a little bit of it.
Then I'm definitely going to do it now.
Thank you.
So if you like any of these games, you should play them. If they sound interesting to you, play them.
There's links to them all in the show notes.
Esper, can you play us out?
Come up. I sure can.
Yes.
So thanks to everybody. You can check out more insert credit because this simply was not enough. I get it. I've been there myself. Go to youtube.com/insertcreditshow. You can go to insertcredit.com to find everything. Forums.insertcredit.com to talk with other sickos and psychos about all this. Patreon.com/insertcredit. We're going to be doing Violence Island soon. You're going to be able to get gacha rolls and have your guys fight against other guys. You can hear us read out names at the end of the show that I do not have access to the list of. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's right.
I know Death Strandicoot's in there. I know Will Roar's in there.
Plasma Goose, a lot of incredible people.
Let me see if I can real quick.
Also, I'm just going to say, none of us have this on our list, but we mentioned it. Play Despelote.
I meant to bring that up.
Yeah, I've been circling the orbit of Despelote for years now. It was one of those games that was at Day of the Devs. It was at Summer Game Fest. It's been around. It finally came out. It's a fucking great game. It's about, I think, Peru, I want to say, in the World Cup, back in the 90s. It's a great semi-autobiographical game about a game developer in South America. You should play that game. You should play that game. Play that game.
Special thanks to friends of the show as of 2 weeks before you are hearing this. Only Ghosts, Kyle Brown, Corey, Alexander Davies, Will Roar, Jordan Thornquest, Death Strandicoot, Sean Patrick, and Plasma Goose.
Thanks, everybody. This show is edited by me, Esper Quinn, with original music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Esper Quinn.
I'm Ash Parrish.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
And your game has now been saved. Hooray!
That was pretty long. Pretty long.
It was pretty long, but it was good.
Yeah, I hope people like
I
it.
can keep going. You guys want to keep hanging out?
I think I'm at my limit at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I got 3 hours, 51 minutes. The longest episode of Insert Credit has never been over 3 hours. So
Really?
we'll see if I edit 50 minutes out of this. I don't think I will.
don't think you
I think
can.
we
I don't know
cracked
if you
3
can.
hours on this one.
Shoot.
We've had episodes that were like 2 hours, 57 minutes, but we've never cracked 3 hours.
Man, a 3-hour tour.
That I've edited at least. So
Yeah. I don't think they were longer before, so